Back in the building of Flow Ohio Studios. If you can hear the sound of my voice, then you are tuned in to His, Hers, and Ours, a real-life couple having a real-life conversation with real-life friends. I'm your co-host, Solomon Davis, as with always.
Shannon Royal Davis.
Back in Champa Bay where things are, we're championing as usual. Some things never change, they stay the same.
Did you feel that way Thursday night?
I felt that way.
Okay.
I mean, all I got to say is, they took the lead. I looked up at the clock. I saw a minute 24 left. I say, we Gucci.
That's what I said, too. I was like, they gave Brady too much time.
We Gucci.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If they would have scored a touchdown on that drive, I would have been like, all right, I'm a little bit worried because now we got to score a touchdown. All we got to do is get to the 35,
Yeah.
kick
Hey,
a
nothing.
field goal,
It's nothing.
minute 24, we good.
Nah.
So, I mean, all y'all haters out there talking about, oh, that was Dallas, y'all should have blew them out. Listen,
Dallas is still a professional
they're a
team.
professional team.
Let's stop playing. And let's not downplay the fact that looked amazing.
He did.
And I'm not and part of
And
me
coming off the injury, too.
right, and that comes from a space of like, you love sports. I don't like to see people go down like that. So when he went down, like, part of me was like, dang, like you want them to bring their best. So when you see that type of stuff, it was almost like nostalgic, kind of watching him, like when the game first started in the tunnel, and how he was just like taunting us, like, yeah, we were booing and stuff, and he was like taunting us on, and then he would like say his little prayer, but he never moved script. Like it wasn't like a nasty taunt. It was just fun, and he was like, yeah, come on, I'm welcoming it. And so to see him get out there after he experienced, a personal loss from his brother passing. And then, he goes out there and he hurt his ankle, last year, and has 2 surgeries that, most of us didn't know. It was good to see. And it was an amazing way to bring back football.
Yeah, it was a great game.
So, yeah.
So, I don't normally do this, but shout out to the Cowboy fans that were in Raymond James. Usually, I don't really.
Oh, yeah.
That dude with the tattoos, the whole cut out of it. What are you doing?
Hey, but they were straight diehard.
They were
I give them their
diehard,
props.
but they were fun.
Yeah.
Like, you
They
get
weren't
some
dickheads.
fans. Yeah,
Yeah.
you get fans in there, like, and I'm going to say it, and I don't give a darn. Like, y'all, I want all the smoke. I can't stand Saints fans. When they in the stadium, I don't like them. Like, I have some friends that are Saints fans, and I respect them. Like, but the ones that be coming into the stadium, I like one on Solomon. No, I was like, oh, y'all better get on T because she about to get this smoke because I'm going to get to it. And I'm the type of person I like to taunt back. But they fans be like so nasty, you almost want to get physical.
Yeah.
But the Dallas fans, man.
Dallas fans are cool. Shout
They
out to
were
my man Ross.
Yeah.
I doubt he's listening because he don't know about the podcast. But if you ever do run it back and listen to it, giving you a shout out. Quick story, Surge. So my man Ross, Dallas fan from Georgia, came down here for the
dude.
game. Sitting next to us in our season ticket spots were a couple who had this is their first game coming. And so Matt talked back and forth, taunting each other, talking trash. And it's a tie game at that point in time, 7-7. Dallas had, 7-6 because Dallas missed the extra point.
Yeah. That's
So the next field goal that they attempted was the 60-yarder. The Dallas fan, Ross was like, oh, Zerline's good from there. He's good from 65. That's 60, we got it. So the Bucks fan said, $100 he misses it to the left.
Oh.
Well,
he's
he had
like,
already missed the extra point.
And so he's like, man, we from Dallas. Our money long, man. I ain't scared of no $100.
He from Georgia, but he's like, I'm a diehard Dallas fan.
Say,
So
our
he's
money
like,
long, man. I ain't scared of $100. $100. It's
He
up.
talking
So-
about, I said, so what you gonna get along with Jerry? He talking about, nah, Jerry borrowing money from me. What? Okay. So that's what we doing.
Dude hands Shannon $100. Ross hands Shannon $100. Field goal goes up. Wide left.
Yep.
Bucks fan gets the $100. He's like, man, I'm buying beer for the whole section. What y'all want? What y'all want?
Right, and he
But
asked everybody.
it was so cool. He's like, man, I feel bad taking the dude's money. I'm gonna give him a chance to get it back, right?
But Ross was always
Ross was like, I'm good, man.
Ross
Hey,
like,
I
that's
like
just
Ross.
chump
That's
change.
good.
It's cool,
So,
whatever.
He goes later on in the game, hey, I bet y'all don't
They
score.
got the pick. They got
yeah,
the
they
pick,
got a
and then we
pick
got
on
the
us,
ball
and then
right
we got
back.
the ball back on punt. So he's like, I bet y'all don't score a touchdown right here. He's
On
like,
this-
double nothing, run it back, get your money back.
God.
So he's like, all right. So they hand Shannon the money. Then another dude was
Dude
like,
said,
I want in on the action.
Ross said, oh, you want this
Ross says, you
smoke?
want some too?
Gotcha. Come on.
Another
this-
$100
Ross
up
said,
there,
this
right?
grown man stuff.
We start on the 15-yard
Wait a minute, though.
line.
Wait, pause. So the other two dudes that sitting behind us been time. Like, so when Ross came in, I automatically, like, I talk noise to everybody. But it's fun. So Solomon even, like, chimed in. So it was me and Solomon messing with Ross. Then now everybody's messing with Ross. Because
Oh,
he's cool.
Lord.
So Ross, the two dudes kept shooting little shots behind us, and they used to be like season ticket holders, but they friends. They came to the game. He's talking about, so y'all two want to get y'all two church collection together, and y'all can go in. I got another 100. So Ross like, here, I'm gonna
Ross out here balling.
Exactly.
Yes.
Hey, pulling out casino chips and everything.
Yeah,
They spent the
black,
whole day at the
green,
casino.
red chips, like all the color chips.
So,
Shout out to Ross.
Yeah,
man,
right.
dude, we start on the 15-yard line. Start moving the ball down the field. I'm like, damn, Ross finna lose another $300, right? Get down. Get inside the 20. I'm like, dude, this is a wrap. I even tell the Bucks fan, I'm like, dude, you and your girl just came to the game for free. Ross just bought y'all tickets, right?
Right.
Brady hits Godwin at the 5. Godwin makes a spin move and fumbles
Oh,
at the
yeah.
goal line.
Remember that one.
Fumbled at the goal line.
And Ross
Ross
said,
like,
Ross
pay
like,
up.
pay
collect.
up.
said the church's money is on the floor, okay? Y'all put the church's
Man,
money
hey,
on the
I
floor.
felt so bad, dog.
But not, you know what though? But
It was
Ross,
all in
it was
fun.
all fun.
But I was like, man, if I'm that close to connecting
Yeah.
another 200,
Yeah.
That hurts.
Ross walks right on out there. He had to leave because the people were leaving trying to beat the traffic. And they may have watched the game as they were going out because, you know, you could see it.
Yeah.
But they were trying to beat the traffic. Ross was like, man, I love to stay until the end because we had fun with him. So it was really cool. And then he had a little partner, kept running up that high fiving him. We had a couple who I think they are season ticket holders and normally go for the Bucks, but when they come to town, like Dallas came to town, they had on like their Dallas shirts and stuff. So you get fans that are like that who moved here. You know, anytime the Bucks not playing their other team, they, you know, root for them. So it was pretty dope. That was probably the best game, and we've had tickets for like 5 years now. That's probably my best game, my favorite of all.
but Atlanta fans, don't think y'all coming here.
Oh,
We're going to do the
yeah.
same thing next week. We all in y'all ass.
And we
next week,
coming
so-
early.
So
Early.
don't even think that's going to happen.
All the smoke.
But with all that being said, we 1-0. Nothing's changed. 16 more to go. We getting ready for playoff mode already. So
Oh wow! So you know, what did I say to you when we were watching the game? When we were there, I said, "You still think we're gonna go undefeated?" Like I felt a little sick. Mind you, I know that first games you're trying to work out all the kinks, and so I
Absolutely.
can't put all that pressure on it. But it just felt like sitting in there, it just felt like this road to repeat is gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Because now you're gonna get everybody's best.
yeah, okay.
So
Beat a man, you got to beat the man.
gotcha, I agree.
So what's going on? I know you got a notebook full of topics there, and I
Yeah.
got some ideas I want to drop on it. But go ahead, I'm gonna let you start it off.
So I'll start off because, you know, I want to pay respect to 9/11, you know, 20 years today. I can remember clearly where I was, what I was doing. But I want to choose to focus on how it brought everybody together. Like, you know, how the country, you know, band together. Like that hurt everybody. We all felt that loss. And I think it forever changed the mind and the mindset of many of us. I kind of, you know, it's always tragedy brings us all close, and there's always things that you can do in retrospect to see. But I know you personally suffered a family loss, you know, because after that, you know, it was all war on, and, you know, your uncle passed away in the war, you know. So how has that completely changed you in the way you view things?
So September 11th for me, personally, before I get into the loss of my uncle, let's see, I was 23 years old when that happened. I mean, none of us, I can say probably the three of us in this room, I mean, we heard on the TV about terrorism, this, that, and the other, but thinking something like that will happen on American soil, he's like, no, that nobody'd ever try us like that, right?
You know, it was so funny because you say that, but you remember how Biggie had that song "Blow Up Like the World Trade Center," like,
Right.
and you know they since removed that from like radio play, but that's just how our mindsets were. Like,
Well,
we
I mean,
felt
that
was
that
invincible.
line came from a bombing at the World Trade
Right.
Center like years earlier.
but it
I
stood
mean,
strong.
Something like that. Whereas, I mean, you watch CNN and, you know, you hear, you know, some, you know, embassy overseas being bombed or what have you. But, you know, to think somebody would have you would say no one has the balls to come over here and do something like that to the United States.
Right.
And then to actually see it take place and the way it took place. I mean, when the first plane hit the first tower, you're like, that had to be an accident. You know, somebody was intoxicated or the wrong route or something. Autopilot was on and, you know, something just messed up. But then the second tower, you know, gets hit and you're like, you know, you don't know what to think because you've never experienced anything like this before. So being down here in Florida and watching it play out up in New York and then, you know, what happened, you know, at the Pentagon and then the flight that crashed in Pennsylvania, you know, just confused because, like I said, at 23, you know, you talk about stuff that happened in history class and what have you, but to experience it personally, you like, dude, you know what? Seriously, what's going on right now?
Absolutely. And I can remember, like, I was 22. Yeah. Working, I worked with my mom, but I had to be to work earlier because I actually opened up the building and stuff like that because I was an administrative assistant at the time. And I can remember me and my boss, we were just talking. I was getting her coffee, and she always turned her TV on to CNN. That was her thing. And as I'm standing there and she's coming from coffee, I was like, hey, you got to get in here and see this. And she's like, what's wrong? She thought something was wrong in our building. I said, no, look at the TV, turn it up. And so she turned the TV on, and I can clearly remember her face and just the whole panic. And she was just like, call. She told me to call the people. Like, I had a opportunity, like, to, send a text out to our employees and say, hey, take a little bit of time. You may want to slow down coming in. Not that we were going to be impacted because we were in Florida, but the fact that all of this stuff was playing out. And then they had, George Bush was here. He was down at a school here in Florida, and you could see the look on his face come across. It was just so, like, you can remember everything you were doing. I could still smell like coffee because of how the incidents played out. And I just think that it's one of those things you'll never forget where you were when it happened. Like, I guess how your great-grandparents and stuff can remember, like, Pearl Harbor and stuff. That's how it felt, but I always, for me, it just always seemed like what would you have done if you had been on one of those planes? How brave would you have been? Would these things happen? So to me, I think it brought us closer. It also put some different restrictions and restraints on how we freely think, about the way we live. But I think, for those people, I forever love first responders. I do. I forever love first responders.
Not only that, and like I said, going back to, personally the loss that I suffered after 9/11, Bush announces the war on terror, and we start sending troops to Iraq and Afghanistan and what have you. So, I lost an uncle when we took over the airport in Kuwait. First soldier that was a native of Tampa that was lost in the war. And when you see how the trickle-down effect happens from one incident and how, not only did it affect my family, but all other families who have loved ones and veterans who served, who might be home now that are currently dealing with PTSD and things of that nature. I mean, you can say that the after effects are still moving. Mm-hmm. Now, one thing that it has, like you said, it affects our mentality on how we think freely, and it's also, kind of tighten up perspective on how we prejudge people.
Absolutely.
And I look at it now from our perspective where we live in a predominantly Muslim neighborhood. Mm-hmm. But, and these people look very similar to, people that were affiliated with Al-Qaeda. And, as we know them, they're the nicest people that we've met. But, in 2002, 2003, shortly after the attacks, we would have looked at them like, nah, bro, you can't. We ain't talking to you, all this, that, and the other.
But you feel completely safe where we are, like right. you do, and it's almost like a sense of, it's a sense of calm and peace, Mm-hmm. And their reputation took a really bad hit. People of Islamic faith and things like that took a real big hit. And everybody became like they understood from our perspective what it felt like to be brown, dark skin, like not that doesn't look like what America's supposed to look like. So there's still those preconceived notions when you see them in airports. Like people still have that fear, and that's a form of PTSD for us as well. So it's changed the way we think.
And I think also it makes us look at right now how crazy our lives are in 2021 versus how they were back then. I mean, it's a shame it took an event like that, but as you said, after it happened, it didn't matter if you were black, white, Hispanic, what have you. You were an American. We were all joining together. It was right. Like we were all helping each other. Now, I mean, when you think of it in the long term, 20 years isn't that much time passed by. And you look at how separated, how divided we are as a nation.
Absolutely.
Now. The fact that, we have the Black Lives Matter movement. We have, No Child Left Behind and this and that. And, it's not even more so a racism. It's a classism type thing that goes on. Versus, like I said, 20 years ago at this date, we were all banded together. It didn't matter who you were, how much money you had, what color you were. And, I mean, like I said, it's sad it took an event like that to get us there. But as Americans, that's where we truly need to be.
So let me just go back to like, and I'm gonna transition from just the whole 9/11 thing, because it'll always be forever in our hearts. Like we'll always and forever embedded in our minds. Let me have a moment with you for just in the night of Thursday night when we were at the game. How did you feel? Like I almost felt like I was in tears when I saw like the players line up after they did all the celebration for the Super Bowl champion stuff, and opening night it looked phenomenal. And you see them get ready to prepare to stand for the African American national anthem.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel? Because I'll share with you in a second how I felt.
Well, I mean, I knew it was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to be presented the way that it was, with Alicia Keys and FAMU's choir.
Shout out to Rattlers.
So,
No one HBCU, but go ahead.
It was a great performance, but I mean, I had read something to the effect that, the NFL had said it was going to be played. They were going to do that before every game. Mm-hmm. Now, timing of it, I think I was a little disappointed because, you go through, well, we're going to sing the African American national anthem, and then you go through the whole Super Bowl festivities, this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. So a whole 15, 20 minutes went by between the black national anthem and then the actual national anthem. And in my opinion, and this is just me, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, if you're going to have the impact or want it as effective as you want it to be, they need to be back to back. Like when you go to a hockey game, it's the Canadian national anthem, then the United States national anthem.
So
back to back.
they did all the fireworks and stuff beforehand. So after the smoke kind of settled, because I was like, well, why is Dallas lining up so quick on the on the end zone lines? And everybody was arm to arm. So I was grateful to see that everybody stood.
Right, but if you remember, everybody lined up.
And I was like, what's going on?
They did the African American national anthem. Then Dallas went back into the locker room because they weren't on the field while we did the Super Bowl presentation. So it was that. Then the Super Bowl presentation with the fireworks and everything. Then they all came back out, and then they did the national anthem with Michelle Williams.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, well, I get it. I still thought that it was to me, honestly, it's a step forward, because just about 5 seasons ago, that wasn't even. It was an afterthought. It wasn't even a process of it. So I have to take it for what it's worth for them even acknowledging it and giving it its own time and space. Mm-hmm. Because they did allow it to kind of just have its own moment. And although they finished and did that and wrapped it up, and then they brought them back out, they still had their own moment, because we were questioning even if they were going to do like the individual like announcements and stuff like that. But honestly, I felt a moment of like, because I knew the words of the song, and you looking around, and I literally like just was like I was fighting back tears, because no one knows that national anthem but us. Mm-hmm. So for like, and I'm sure this isn't the first time that other people have heard it. But to have it given its moment, and you see everybody else standing, nobody was sitting down, and they respected it in the same way. At least in our section, everybody was standing. I can't speak for I'm sure there's somebody in the stadium who had their own opinion about it. It felt good, and I had like a sense of pride right then and there for just a moment, because you even took the time. You could have had FAMU band sing the whole song, because Alicia Keys only sung the first verse.
Right. You
had it set up with the celebrity, and you gave it a face. And then you allowed it to be ours all over again.
So I'm going to challenge you this.
Go ahead.
And this is me being pessimistic right now.
What's new?
As season ticket holders, we're there 10 games out of the year.
She won't be at all.
No, she's not going to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's supposed to be played. I want you to observe the stands as these games go along and how it's played at each and every game. And will you still get that same standing at attention when it's played and what have you. See, I have to take it as we were all on our feet anyway because of the anticipation of what they were getting ready to do. We saw the big trophies getting ready to be enrolled on the field. We knew what was going to happen.
You think it was the pageantry of open night?
Exactly.
Okay, well,
let's see what happens Sunday.
Well, I mean, even if it does, I can't get mad, because sometimes when you're standing, I'm usually just sitting. I may sit down, or I may stand with you and just be like looking around, and I just, just there. And don't get me wrong, the flag means something. The anthem means something to me, because you've had family and friends who've been impacted. Who out there fighting for this country. People personally who deal with PTSD from being a part of the military, having to go to Afghanistan. So we get that stuff. But for me, it just felt like it may have been, just the I get that it may have been a pageantry, but I'm not going to be disappointed if it continues. Like if they, you know, if you see a few sit down and here and that, that's how they have always treated. I don't expect them to change. You can't change the tiger stripes.
Absolutely, I agree.
So,
continue, please.
oh really? Wow. So with that being said, this week is our first week that you'll see the first black, and I didn't want to just say African American. I said black. Female official for the NFL. Her name is Mia Chalk. She's from New York, but she's the first black female. Why has it taken us so long? And why did it have to be a white female that did it first? I just trying to play a little devil's advocate at the same time.
I think that if I'm correct, and if I'm wrong, I apologize. But I think there's a training program that these officials go through. And like back in 2017, 2018, there were like 7 females that entered that training program.
Right.
And out of the 7, 6 were white, 1 was black. Mm-hmm. So she's matriculated through that system. Mm-hmm. The fact that there were 6 other white women with her, you know, her odds were a little bit lesser of making it through faster than what they were. So I just think it was a numbers game.
A numbers game? Okay.
You know, shout out to her. I'm sure she wouldn't have called the offensive pass interference on Godwin either. So I'm good with that. But you know, I'm looking forward to seeing her. I wish her the best. I salute her. I salute all the females. I salute the female official that was in the Super Bowl this past week.
And I'm not down. Don't get me wrong. I'm not downplaying the fact that I'm not happy it's a female. Mm-hmm. I just always try to figure out why the black female got to be the last.
I just think it was a numbers game, and you know, and I don't think she's the last. I think you just saw the 2 or 3 that made it previous to her. There might be 2 or 3 that's after her.
Okay.
You know,
and I'm sure because a part of the group that she was included in, it was like it was a white colleague actually, and like I always tell people, you always need that one ally. You need those allies that's there who don't see any color and don't see any barriers. And he was the one. He said when they were teaching at school, because she, I think she graduated from Norfolk. Yeah, so she graduated from HBCU. So I'm not knocking it, nothing like that. Like I'm proud of it. And she had a coworker who was getting dressed to go to officiate a game. And she was like, oh, so that's what you do? He's like, yeah, extra money and it's fun. You know, as doing something I like to do, actually. He's like, you should do it. She said, well, I may do basketball. And he was like, nah, try this one first. I think you'll like this a lot better. And he was the one that pushed her. So when they interviewed him on ESPN on Friday, he was in tears. He was so proud and when he said, and I just kept pushing as I saw her go through like the collegiate ranks and things like that. He pushed her and he was so happy to be her ally, like a change agent, I like to call him. So it was really good to see, and I'm excited and super stoked about it because it really gives the image of, you know, women, we can do anything, you know, and it continues to push that narrative for our children. You know,
and I wholeheartedly agree with your statement. Sometimes you need that ally in order to push you through. I mean, you know, shout out to our coach, Bruce Arians, for having, you know, an all-black, you know, coordinator staff, defensive, offensive, and special teams all being African-American. Also having the female assistant coaches. Absolutely. But, you know, he's opening the door, you know, for inclusion. Yeah. You know, you and I both sat on the show a couple months ago talking about how, you know, Paige Beckers, you know, received the Female Athlete of the Year, the ESPYs, but yet acknowledged her African American counterparts that were nominated along with her. Yeah. So yeah, it does take that ally in their moment to say, hey, you know, I appreciate you guys acknowledging me, but there's still a lot more work that would be done, and these are the people who are knocking on the doorstep, and you just have to give them an opportunity. You know, it took, you know, like in Pittsburgh, the Rooneys, you know, giving Mike Tomlin the opportunity.
The longest tenure.
You know, so one of the longest
tenure right now. Yeah.
So, I mean, not only do we have to be the best that we can possibly be, and many times that entails us having to be better than them, but, you know, we also need some of them in our corner as well. So,
absolutely. With that, we probably should go to first break.
Hey, you in control. I gave you the segment.
Nah, that's okay.
Jesus, take the wheel.
With that, we'll go to our first break. We'll be back shortly. Give us about 2 minutes, and we'll return. With his, hers, and ours. 4 minutes on. Well, see, that's why he should have taken it, because I don't really do it. He picked the longest song? Oh, we're going to cut that in half.
It ain't the longest song. We're gonna ride out to
we'll be right back.
CLB, Drake, Too Sexy.
Oh, wow.
We'll be right back.
His, hers, and ours.
yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm too sexy for this girl, too sexy for your girl, too sexy for this world, too sexy for this ice, too sexy for that jack, yeah, yeah. I'm too sexy for this chain, too sexy for your game, too sexy for this fame, yeah, yeah. I'm too sexy for the trap, too sexy for that cap, too sexy for that jack, yeah, yeah. Okay, alright, that's fine, okay. I'm feeling too sexy to accept requests, way too sexy. And I'm way too sexy to go unprotected, way too sexy. And she popped a Tesla, now she gonna let you. Okay, alright, that's fine, okay. Think we got too sexy for that metro housing, way too sexy. Diamond popped out, almost swallowed 60,000, 60 pieces. Section need more things in here, I like it crowded. Hey, whoa, whoa, yeah, I like it crowded. Oh, you like the boy? Well, tell me what you like about him. You a turned a little thotty, ain't no wife about it. I'ma fuck her friends and send her back to metro housing. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm too sexy for this girl, too sexy for your girl, too sexy for this world, too sexy for this life, too sexy for that jack. Yeah, yeah. I'm too sexy for this chain, too sexy for your game, too sexy for this fame, yeah, yeah. I'm too sexy for the trap, too sexy for that cap, too sexy for that jack, yeah, yeah. I pop out, get ghosts on a bitch, you don't know where I went. Pray for all my dogs, all my niggas behind the fence. Dripping in and out, spilling in a new designer gear by Coaster. Pay attention to the detail, going two-tone on choker. Young niggas always ready to murk, some call them some smokers. Young nigga have emotion, you don't make sure the car gets hit a 360, windmill when I left the scene. That's that action, her best work on her knees. Too sexy for this cash, too sexy for this serve, too sexy for these pills, I'm too sexy for this. I get cash wherever I fly, got bitches sexing on me. Money, cars, and all the jewelry make a bill of sexy. I get cash wherever I fly, got bitches sexing on me. Yeah, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm too sexy for this girl, too sexy for your girl, too sexy for this world, too sexy for this ice, too sexy for that jack. Yeah, yeah. I'm too sexy for this chain, too sexy for your game, too sexy for this fame. Yeah, yeah. I'm too sexy for the trap.
Let's make a movie, baby, press record, and let's role play. The sounds we making makes a perfect musical. Call me Beyonce. Strum my pussy like we strumming a guitar. Love it when you lick the middle, you know that's my favorite part. The Mona Lisa by my body, baby, that's a work of art. Oh, wait, baby, we ain't done. Turn me around and beat it like a drum. Treat my body like your favorite love song. Play it over and over and over again. Anticipating, I've been waiting too long. Let's do it over and over and over again. Just treat my body like your favorite love song. Just play it over and over and over again. Just treat my body like your favorite love song. Play it over and over and over again. Cause you're my favorite love song. You turn me on like a radio. Boy, let's go. The way you do it got me hitting high note. Falsetto. Boy, let's pretend that it's in the studio. Baby, you making me scream in the microphone. Boy, I'ma ride the beat just like I ride the beat. Play with me, piano keys, baby.
are back. Segment 2, his, hers, and ours, a real-life couple holding real-life conversation with real-life friends. My name is Solomon Davis with my co-host,
Shannon Royal Davis.
My topic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Recently, and it's been brought to light over the last couple years and what have you, HBCUs.
Yes, sir. Stand up.
We are making a move to, bring them to light, bring them to attention, give them the adoration that they've deserved for what they've done in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Big day today with, Jackson State versus Tennessee State. Deion Sanders, head coach Deion Sanders.
Yeah, I was going to say, put some respect on his name. Don't do that.
Jackson State University, and Coach Eddie George of Tennessee State University. So, we got a lot of shine last week as Jackson State played FAMU. We've got these high school athletes now stating that, they're going to start taking these top-ranked high school athletes, taking their talents to HBCUs versus always going to, the ACC, Big East, SEC schools, and like I said, just bringing some light to, you being someone who's attended FAMU. I attended Morehouse, so, we have roots in the HBCUs.
Right.
I want to give a shout-out to, I heard the acknowledgement of Jay-Z and Beyonce teaming up with Tiffany and Company.
And $2 million.
Right, to give out $2 million in HBCU scholarships.
Right.
And I just want to say, maybe we don't have the Jay-Z and Beyonce type money. Maybe we don't have the connects or ties to organizations or like Tiffany and Company, what have you, but every little thing we can do. And if not even for the school, for the students that attend those schools, I mean, every little bit counts. We being former students, we know what it's like being in college.
Absolutely.
Struggling.
Yeah.
I mean, you might have been struggling, I was eating ramen noodles every night, we weren't all born with silver spoons in our mouth.
When I tell you.
Help a kid out, let him know that, that old saying, it takes a village, to raise a child. Be that support system, and let's get back to our roots and take care of our own, because, depending on somebody else to take care of your own, that's a recipe for disaster. Right.
So you have a young daughter. Are you going to push her towards an HBCU, or are you just going to be like, I'm just going to give them, excuse me, sir. Excuse me. We have Alfie Santana who's joined us. Yeah. So anywho, now, you have a young daughter. What are you doing to, what's your desire for her? Is it that she goes to HBCU, or is it kind of like, I'm going to let her do whatever she wants to?
I'm going to expose her.
Okay.
I'm going to give her the option, but I'm not going to force it upon her. Me personally, I know the way that I grew up, the environment that I grew up in, it was probably going to an HBCU was probably something that I needed. Because at that point in time, it would probably be the last stage in my life that I would ever be able to go into an environment where I felt like I was part of the majority and no longer a minority. With the way that we raise our daughter, who knows how she'll feel. I am going to leave that door open for her. I am going to expose her to those campuses, some of the doctrine that comes along with those, explain to her the history that goes along with her, but ultimately the decision is hers, because I don't want her to feel we made her do something that, she didn't want to do. She did it because we wanted her to do it. So
you can still expose her to those things. So like Edgerrin James, he recently came out and said that, and this is what he's told his kids, either you're going to go to the U, which is UM, or an HBCU. He's had 2 daughters, I think, that have graduated, or one's graduated for sure from like Howard, and the other ones have attended other HBCUs. Right. And he has a son that's coming out of college, a good football player, whatever. And he posted on his thing the other day, hey fam, you hollering at my boy. He had this whole post about, hey, I know plenty 28-year-old sophomores because they love Tallahassee. Right. So it was kind of a joke, but at the same sense, do you feel like the backing of those people are needed in order for people to, to continue to push us forward? Absolutely.
I mean, and the reason why I say when you say the backing of those people, you're going to say celebrities and athletes and what have you, because your traditional universities, I mean, let's just look here in the state of Florida, your University of Florida, your Florida State, your Central Floridas. I mean, they get so much support from alumni that it's not publicized. When we do have those same type of contributors or donors to HBCUs, but maybe the money wasn't appropriated properly, or maybe we went so long without getting those type of endowments or scholarship recipients that it took for an athlete or a celebrity to step up in its place and do something like that. Like I said, me attending Morehouse, two of the most famous African Americans that we know were, Morehouse alumnus, being Spike Lee and Martin Luther King. Dr. King no longer here, so he couldn't do anything, but his legacy lived on. So when you go to Atlanta, his history is written all over it. Spike Lee, from the movie standpoint, we didn't have a school of film. And my freshman year is when Spike Lee actually endowed that there. So, it opened up more opportunities for people who might have said, I want to get into film study, what have you, so I can't go to Morehouse because they don't offer that.
Right.
So when Spike and decided to open up that school there, that opened the doors to have more students come in.
Gotcha.
It just takes building on building and building. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen over the next year or so. But as long as we keep making these small contributions, who knows what can happen in the next 5 to 10 years or, by the time my daughter's ready to go to school.
Absolutely. I think for me, I really want to persuade her in any way I can or help influence her to go to an HBCU. The only, the part that I loved about HBCU, it was... Oh, boy, you almost made me say something. Man, don't do that. It wasn't that. What I loved about HBCU is just the culture, the entire culture of it. You're being around people who look like you, y'all doing things, and you do have a lot of minorities. It's not just, when we say go to HBCUs, it's not just black people that go to HBCUs.
I was actually going to ask about that because,
yeah.
I'm Hispanic, and I was exposed mostly to the Ohio State University, and some of the local colleges
that team,
around
that team,
Cleveland.
the team that just lost.
Don't do
Yeah,
that.
the team that lost. I know. I went to Toledo, went to Bowling Green, and went to Kent State University. But these were as parties. But you saw the culture there.
Right.
So when I started hearing and understanding about the HBCUs, I was like, is that just all black? Is there any white
No.
people? Or is
So
it
I'll put it to you
Hispanics?
like this: my freshman year at Morehouse, the president of the student body was actually a white dude. When he was a senior, he gave this big speech his senior year that the stuff he had to deal with his freshman year because people were like, "You don't belong here. Why are you here?" And then he's like, he dealt with that. He dealt with getting in fights and being jumped and feeling that people were just not giving him a fair shake. And he opened himself up to I'm gonna accept this until these people get to know me. And once they get to know me, they'll understand that it's not about white or black with me. I'm just like them. And once they did, when I got on campus in the fall of '96, this kid.
Oh, but go ahead. As you were. Go ahead, sir.
What's the 2
Go
Chainz
ahead.
song? Old enough to be your daddy.
Go
What's
ahead,
that?
man. Go
Okay.
ahead. As you were.
But anyway, he was one of the most popular kids on campus. Because people are like, all right, this dude is real. Regardless of what his skin color is, he's real. And that's what people appreciate.
So-
Go ahead.
So that, for me, FM, we always had other minorities on campus because you're not gonna have just all black. And it's refreshing when you see somebody like that. You're like, yo, they took a chance coming here. They knew they were gonna be the minority. We're the majority here. So for us, it was like, yo, we gonna embrace this. FAMU has always had a white quarterback or a Hispanic kick, whatever it was. We've always had them involved. They've been on our basketball team, our softball teams, baseball teams. They are always we're inclusive. You'll see that when you get on us campus, okay, yeah, it's a bit of an adjustment because you're the minority. So you see how we feel when we go into these different big campuses, such as the Floridas and Florida State's a little bit of both, but because Florida State is exactly around the corner from FAMU. So you party with each other. Tallahassee belongs to both of y'all. Florida State got the notoriety because they were the bigger school and they had the more money behind them and backed them. Yeah. But I guarantee you, as Coach Deion, when he was Deion Sanders at Florida State, I guarantee you.
Oh, you mean a new coach over at, I think it was at Jackson State?
Jackson State.
Yeah, I was watching that yesterday on ESPN.
If you ever want to know, he used to live practically on FAMU's campus because that was where he could be himself. You can really just let go. And when you see them on campus and stuff like that, it's just other minorities, you don't feel like that. You feel like you one of them too. You fit right in. So it's a lot. When you go on campus, you'll even see a FAMU's band. The other day I was laughing. I was like, oh, we got an Asian dude up here? And he's in the School of Pharmacy. I just looked him up trying to see, I look at their rosters and see what's on there. And I looked it up, and I think he's in School of Pharmacy. But that's where, if you ever notice when you go to Walgreens or like your CVS and stuff, you look on the wall. If you don't see University of Florida, you'll see usually a Florida, a FAMU grad, Florida A&M graduate. So I think that people get that misconception. Oh, HBCUs is only for black people, but it was the only place we were accepted initially. We couldn't go to any other schools. Girl or boy. Like, there were some schools where, like Tuskegee is like a big university as well. Like one of the Tuskegee Airmen. That's what that's about. We didn't have a lot of opportunities to go to that. That's why HBCUs are so dear to us, because those were the only places that accepted us. Now, you can go to the different places and people are like, okay, yeah, but now you're a minority. You're a majority at the HBCU. So that's the beauty of it.
Okay.
So to talk about that, I know that people were having an issue with the fact that ESPN did not show any of the halftime clips, and I think people are trying to adjust to this.
Yeah, they mentioned that on Friday.
HBCU culture. Yeah.
Matter of fact, Coach Dion, or Coach Primetime,
Coach Prime,
his name is now. He had mentioned that they need to show up in the ticker.
Yeah.
Show us in the ticker.
Yep.
And then just show them.
Yeah,
show them.
They need to, and they should, because if you want to live, but it takes the people like Coach Dion who's not afraid to speak up.
Right.
He don't need your money. He don't need your fame. He has
good.
all of that. He's really good on that. He's securing that. And I always go on like his page and I watch different stuff. Like, so don't get me wrong. Just because I went to HBCU, I don't know every HBCU. I didn't know every HBCU. I've heard of certain ones. I was like, Jackson State, what? So I got a friend who called me. He's like, oh, yeah, we going to beat you. I was like, dude, I didn't even know what Jackson State was until Dion got there. Like, let's not play. But him going there has brought a lot of attention, a lot of eyes. He's shining a light, and it's not just helping his HBCU where he's coaching, but he's helping all of them.
Yeah, matter of fact, Eddie George is who he's playing today.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He's over at Tennessee State.
Yes.
So those two.
I give Dion all the credit for bringing this to light and, stating that, the same environment that these other schools, the Ohio States, the University of Miami's, the Alabamas that are getting on these networks such as ABC and what have you, and ESPN, the same light needs to be shed on HBCUs. The only thing that, I would, warn Coach Dion is that this is a machine. Not too many people stand up to the machine just like that and get what they want. Give it time. It'll happen over time. You've taken the step. You've opened the door. You brought in other people. Your assistant coaches have been NFL players. You now have Eddie George, like you said, who's a head coach. You have other, Hall of Famers that are looking to do the same thing, and then now breaking into doing things at HBCUs, not only in football but basketball, baseball, those things as well. It's all going to happen over time, And
but if you stay silent, look how long people have been silent.
But think about this. We went from Dion saying, I want Coach Dion, you're going to be addressing me as coach from here on out, which you and I had that conversation, and we can share on air if you want to.
Mm-hmm,
ESPN has to show the halftime show. We want to be showed on the ticker.
He didn't say about the halftime show. He was just like, y'all got to give us some airtime. You give IMG Academy, who's a private school, might I add, a high school, TV time. They playing people who ain't even real high school.
And you want to know how? Like I said, that's all in connections.
But I'm just saying, let it line up.
The wide receiver coach at IMG Academy did his internship where? For ESPN.
All I'm
so
saying.
There are connections there. I mean, I'm positive Dion has these same connections.
And he making
but it's got to happen gradually. It's not going to happen over.
Could he have the Kanye effect where at least you talking about me, you talking about what I said? It's still some type of conversation going on. Yeah. Can we have that? Like, can it be that kind of conversation?
It can't be that type of conversation. But what I'm saying is we're not going to go to bed tonight and wake up tomorrow and Saturday when Jackson State plays, they're going to be the bottom line on the ESPN ticker.
But guess what?
At half,
it wasn't on the ESPN ticker, but he was in the game day ticker, baby.
When he said every school is in the game day ticker.
Ain't. No, he was on game day. They were interviewing him.
So when he says he wants the halftime show shown on ESPN and what have you, when you were watching Ohio State versus Oregon,
I done see Ohio
Did you
State
see
because they
that?
did the whole Michael Jackson.
Going into commercial, you might see it,
Well,
but
at
they're
least
not going to
give
show
it
the
a
whole.
clip.
No, they don't show the. They don't show.
They're not. He's not asking them to show the whole thing. He's like,
That's on
at least-
ABC anyway.
Yeah, but he's
Show
like,
some
at
of
least
it.
give a clip. Like,
Yeah.
give them something to come back.
Because they
to.
always show Ohio
Right.
State
Ohio
what
State
they're
be doing
making.
their little Michael Jackson thing,
Yeah.
moving.
No, but see,
yeah,
this is
it's
the point I'm trying to make with that. With HBCUs, you know because you went to FAM.
Yeah.
I know because Morehouse's football team actually sucked. And when I was at Morehouse, the head coach was Doug Williams, former Buccaneer quarterback.
That was bad, Doug.
We would go to games that would start at 12 o'clock and look at the stands. There'd be 10 people in the stands. Halftime,
I don't know about
the
that,
stands
yeah.
were filled. Middle of the third quarter, stands were empty again. They only showed up to see halftime.
For the band, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think what we're trying to do is take that stigmatism away from HBCU football that they only show up for the band. When people talk about the Florida Classic, oh, I got to go to see the Battle of the Bands.
Speaking of
I got to
which-
go to see the band.
Yeah, but like that 2019 fan, you did go 9-2. That means people was staying to see their games
I
because when
understand
you're
that.
winning,
but
they
when
gonna
you talk
they
about
wanna see it.
HBCUs, what do people say?
A
I
lot
gotta
of
go
a
see
lot
the
of
band.
noises around the band, and I'm not knocking that.
If he's gonna ever be, if this gonna be legitimatized, he's got to take the
How you
focus
know that's not the
off of
message?
that.
How you know that's
He's got
not
to take the focus
message?
away from that and put a quality product on the football field.
And that's what he's trying to do. But the only way you get quality products, and Dion had a blueprint this time. I have to give him props. He used his kids that were already at Division I schools, had Division I offers. Hey, my dad is the head coach over here. Trust him. And they know that if Dion is there, that they have an opportunity of somebody in the NFL seeing him. Dion, even on the if you watch his watch their show that's online, as they're doing like a documentary through the season.
Right.
One of his assistant coaches is now with the Minnesota Vikings, and he was selected as part of that training program thing as well. He was selected, but it was because the head coach at the time called Dion and said, "Hey, one of your coaches applied for this job," because Dion is telling them, "Stop thinking just on this level. Go ahead
Right,
and apply."
he's breaking the
But
old boy network.
right,
I understand
he's
that.
speaking, but it needs somebody to give it a voice in order for people to start following. So if Coach Dion is saying, "Hey, I need y'all to stay and watch the whole game and watch this whole product." When the games are good, people will stay until the end because they want to see what's going to happen. They know that more is at stake.
What I was saying about the machine. Same thing I said about, the Floridas, the Florida States, the UCFs in the state of Florida. Where
Yeah.
their
Don't get me started with that
where their
crap.
contributions come from are alumni that have made it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about the name on the back of those jerseys.
But they put them on now.
They put them on
Go
there,
ahead, though,
but
as you were.
they don't care
because
about that.
HBCUs don't have their name on the back.
They
of
don't
it. But
care
go ahead.
about that. They care about the emblem on the side of the helmet, the name on the front of the jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Your name could be Shaka Zulu, but if you play for Ohio State, they're going to love you. Whether you suck or whether you were a Heisman Trophy winner. If you played at Ohio
But
State,
at
when
least
you walk
you know
around Columbus,
Shaka
Ohio,
Zulu wasn't.
they're going to love you.
Time out.
Right?
At least you know his number and his name.
So whether your name is on the back of the jersey or not, if you walked around and said, "I played defensive back for Ohio State University,"
They
you
do
can
that
write
in
your own ticket.
Tallahassee.
They do that, and it didn't matter if his name was on a jersey or not.
Yeah, they brought
Right.
that up too because they're like, there
'Cause
was a
Deion
fight
said-
for them to get the names on the back of the
Because
jersey.
Deion said, why we can't get out? These kids work
Yeah.
hard enough to get it. It's hard to get a scholarship. They worked hard, worked their butt off. They can't even put their last name on their jersey. They mama them. He said they mama them want to see who see they baby.
Exactly.
And I agree with him on that. If it costs
Is
what
that
five
is
extra
that
more
a conference
dollars,
thing?
it may be a conference thing. It's conference choice.
Dion's gonna get that changed by next year.
He'll get it changed, and I
and the thing
understand that.
about it is he bringing in other people to get it done. So that is not on the schools to put
Yeah.
that on them. He's getting sponsorships. He's gotten sponsorships for so many people. At the same time, like he's going up against Eddie George. They're going to do this documentary or whatever. But he's pushing for all of those coaches the same way. He just has the biggest mouth, and sometimes you need the biggest mouth to speak up for you because some people are not willing to do that fight.
Yeah, the other thing too is that ESPN, the upper echelon, like, well, yeah, they're on ESPN, no ESPN 3 or whatever.
Right.
They're not on the main channel.
Right, and
You
he's
got-
just like the way these big schools keep money coming in is they have those big contracts. So we got to start watching those shows. Like I honestly, I was at a wedding and last week when they were playing, and I was literally checking my phone every few minutes just so I can see what was going on because it meant a lot to me. This is football from HBCUs have been gone for the last year. They didn't get the opportunity. Like some of them just backed all the way out because they can't afford the fact that okay, we're gonna have all these players with COVID. Come on, like possibly. they had to back out of it. So that's a large revenue for those
that's
schools.
true.
Just like it is for the big schools. That's a lot of money for them. But see, the TV contracts pick that up for them.
Yep.
HBCUs.
And that's the biggest problem with
that's the money.
HBCUs is
right.
the
But
major conferences.
There's a way around that, and this is what I'm saying. Why Deion has to be creative. If he's gonna lead this
gonna
revolution,
create
he has to be creative. He's not gonna be able to say, you know what, when I want to be on the ticker, when I want halftime shows, the next step is going to be, you know what? How come on Saturdays at 3:30 when the game of the week is on, or Saturdays at 8 p.m. when the game of the week is on, it's not an HBCU game? If you want to grab part of that ESPN money, part of that ABC money, hey, listen, I want to be your game of the week, but you know what? We're going to change my HBCU schedule to Thursday night or Friday night. So we're not, because there's no way we're going to watch Jackson State versus Tennessee State when I know Ohio State, Michigan's on, or Florida versus Georgia is on, or Alabama versus Auburn is on.
Come on. Now, you mean to tell me HBCU couldn't have gone up against Florida and USF today? Like, be for real. Like, keep it 100. Even though both of them are Division I schools, you don't think that they could have grabbed some of that TV time? It's almost like when Serena and Venus are on TV.
And
if you
hold
put
on,
them
hold
on
on,
the
hold on.
time, go ahead.
USF versus Florida was on what network?
I don't know.
ESPN 2.
What?
Not ESPN.
Was
We saw it on
Time
ABC because it was our local
Okay, so
team.
they was on ESPN too. Where was the HBCU at?
They are also on
They
ESPN
were on
2.
3. They was on ESPN
They can also
3.
be on ESPN
They were on
2 as well.
ESPN 3.
They're on 3.
Let's be real. So at least I can do with ESPN 2. That's just mean I'm second to none. Like, okay, cool. I ain't number one, but I'm okay with being there. I can play second. I'm good with that on that one.
I don't see at
Do
this
they even
point.
have a network though for the HBCUs?
No, they won't.
They
They
don't have
won't.
their
And
own
they
logo.
That's
won't
what they
have
need to do. They
Yeah.
all need
They're
to get
gonna,
together
and I,
need to
and
create
and
do
I
a
like
really
network.
the
think
Big
I
Ten
really think that that's
network.
what they're gonna create
Yeah.
eventually.
I think that's
and
where
it will.
Deion's going to take them.
I think it will, and I think the best person that probably slide into that, and just to be honest with you, is probably like Revolt TV or some junk with.
Yeah, no, but
with
whatever
Diddy.
works.
But whatever has the. Yeah, I'm not knocking.
So,
it.
and this is where, hey, we reach out to our own. You got someone who owns it.
You don't think he's not gonna do that?
Oh,
Like,
Diddy will
give
do it. I
He's not-
guarantee
he's
Diddy
not
will do it.
reaching-
Wait,
Why not
were
reach out to
they on
own?
BET?
Why not reach
Yeah,
out to
they were
Oprah?
on BET before.
They were on
BET
BET,
had
yeah.
it. Yeah, they
I
did
remember.
have it. BET, and then like TBS would pick up a couple of them. So they were all like.
Why not
moving
reach out to
around.
Oprah Winfrey's network and say, hey, here's a way to bring men to your
That's
network.
true.
That's true.
And say,
That's true.
instead of all
You need
women
to go
just
holler at
walking-
Deion.
That's true.
Say,
That's
look, I
true.
got this.
Exactly.
That's true. That's true.
Prime,
maybe I
hit
need
me
to,
up.
Maybe I need to slide in his DM.
Coach
He might
Prime.
pick up and
For
listen.
real.
You know, but that's real. Like this is what it's about, having a conversation. And if he didn't make the noise, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying. He's not thinking it's gonna happen overnight. Heck, he didn't think he was gonna be able to get this stuff done in his own school for the field that it was practicing on. So it doesn't happen overnight, but at least get the wheels in motion. If I bark, usually the person that barks the loudest gets the most attention. He's getting that news spin.
You start barking too loud, what happens?
Man, they gonna
Oh,
put him
boy,
to sleep.
they calling a
But the thing
pound
about it
on
is,
you.
he won't. Whether this is the thing though, we have to be comfortable in our own. HBCUs is the thing. We've been comfortable in our own for so long that now we got somebody who has a little bit of clout, who can pump out his chest a little bit, who ain't scared to speak up for us. Now he's doing it, and you're just able to follow behind it.
Can I mean, and I'm not doubting him.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say
I'm
he's
not
doing the
putting
wrong
it all
thing.
on his back.
What I'm trying to say is, we know how this game is played. They're only going to give so much until they be like, all right, homeboy.
So
pump
are
your
you going to
brakes."
continue to be the Deion Downer?
I'm being the
That's what you're
realistic.
gonna be,
I'm
the
being
Deion
realistic.
Downer. But sometimes that's what it takes. Somebody thinking outside of the box. Set a fire under somebody else behind and let it run.
Just
and
like,
let's see what happens.
Just like Malcolm did, right?
I guess.
Just like
I
Martin
guess.
did, right?
I guess.
Okay.
But look, they're legends. You still talking about them.
Hey,
You still talking about
you
them.
either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Hey, it is what it, look, sometimes it's not a bad thing to be a heel.
You know?
You know that. Sometimes it's not a bad thing to
Hey,
be the villain.
I love heels, so.
And if you're okay with being the villain, and for Deion's career, majority of it, he was the heel.
Prime time.
He was the
though.
heel, so he's comfortable in that role.
Mm-hmm.
He don't need nobody else to like him. He got all the accolades to prove that. He's the heel. Let him be that, and I'll rock with that all day. He'll let somebody else get that clean face, but as long as you're comfortable being that in that role, I'll rock out to that.
Okay. So what I'm comfortable with is going to a break right
Go
now.
ahead, take it. You need one.
I don't
You
need a
need
break. I'm
one.
good. I got all the
need
heat.
one.
I live in Champa Bay, so I ain't
need
worried
one.
about it. We 1-0.
Gotcha.
Luckily, it
Don't-
could have been.
hey,
ugly.
Ain't no. This
Hey,
is
but I'm
this
just
is
saying,
look.
we'll talk about
This
that
is not
off air.
lotto.
Hey,
Either you win or you don't.
No.
Like I
Look
said,
here.
you saw my post on Facebook. Fast and Furious.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. If you
Dude, I almost had you.
Or a
Somebody
mile.
win by inch or a mile.
That's it.
Winning is winning.
Wins a win.
And
That's
on
all
that
that
note,
matters.
we're going to take our next break. We'll be back with His, Hers, and Ours. I'm Shannon Royal Davis with my co-host.
Solomon Davis.
Yeah, His, Hers, and Ours. Be back shortly.
Keep your eyes on me, apply that. Get it, don't be timid when you in it, apply that. Love upon it, live alone, leave it. I don't want no drip, baby, spread like it's really so fine. It's spicy, baby, jump up on this. I guess that's why you like it, baby, come and get this. Takes a lot to excite me, baby, give it all you got. I'm a tough cookie, baby, get the right side. Why you texting me, you know I won't reply. Why you ain't fuck with me when I wasn't this fly? Now I'm on top and now I'm riding sky. Don't need nobody, but I'll take you down tonight. And now I'm okay with being nasty. Too fucking hot for all these clothes anyway. My body dripping, but you gon' have to pay. But when you get it, lick it like a candy cane. Keep your eyes on me, apply. Get it, don't be timid when you in it, fly. Love upon it, live alone and leave it. Say, I don't want no drip, baby, spread like you need it. So fine, it's spicy, baby, jump up on this. I guess that's why you like it, baby, come and get this. Takes a lot to excite me, baby, give it all you got. I'm a tough cookie, baby, get the right side. Pop it, baby, twist it, darling. Do it like you mean it, darling. Keep it coming, ooh, keep it running. Leave it messy, go ahead and live in it. Swim up in it, pop it, baby, twist it, darling. Do it like you mean it, darling. Keep it coming, ooh, keep it running. Leave it messy, go ahead and live in it. Swim up in it. Keep your eyes on me, apply. Get it, don't be timid when you in it, fly. Love upon, live alone, leave it. Say, I don't want no drip, baby, spread like you mean it. So fine and spicy, baby, jump up on this. I guess that's why you like it, baby, come and get this. Takes a lot to excite me, baby, give it all you got. I'm a tough cookie, baby, get the right spot. Yeah, yeah. Hit it, baby. Hit it, baby. Hit it, baby. Hit it, baby. I said keep it
Like the incense, not to mention skin like whiskey. She's cold like on the rocks. I still love smoking Zaza.
incense, lose the tension, feel like heaven. Lost mixed with a vodka. Feelings get lost in the light.
Happy but you're unhappy. Shorty, you're so valid. I'm ready when you're ready. Don't you know I can be so deadly?
Try not to think what you made me. It's just a cheap thing, baby. Now that my satin sheets you're laying.
Walk through the door, there you were. Bought you Louis Fendi, etc. Woman, you should've told me you were dangerous. Well, you should've told me you were medicine.
Put it on me.
mention, skin like whiskey. She's cold like on the rocks. I still love smoking Zaza.
Incense, lose the tension, feel like heaven. Lost mixed with a vodka. Feelings get lost in the light. Listen, healthy indecisions. Trying to fight it would be so ridiculous. I'm ready when you're ready. Someone watching would be so jealous.
I try not to think what you made me. It's just a G thing, baby. All in my satin sheets you're laying.
Put it on me like you said you was. Felt so hard like you said you was. Love out of this world, out of this nebula. It's special, but you almost
Distance, not to mention skin like whiskey. She's cold like on the rocks. I still love smoking Zaza.
incense, lose the tension, feel like heaven. Lost mixed with a vodka. Feelings get lost in the la la.
We are back for segment number 3 of His, Hers, and Ours, a real life couple holding real life conversation with real life friends. I am your co-host Solomon Davis with
Shannon Royal Davis.
along sitting in our live-in co-host Albie Santana.
Hola.
Hit you with his best man. Yeah, okay.
So I want to hit you with a little note that I saw posted on Facebook earlier this week. With everybody talking about women's liberation and stuff like that. No, I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
You was
no, this
peaky.
is about relationships.
Go ahead.
Where for so long it's been said, happy wife, happy life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the dude posted he's tired of that.
Oh,
Happy
wow.
spouse, happy house.
Okay.
This goes both ways. So
I can agree with
no
that.
longer should we
I'm
only
with
be
it.
catering to y'all feelings and make sure y'all are the only ones happy in the house.
But I don't think that relationships work like that when it's like happy wife, happy life. I never subscribe to that per se.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I think it's a balance because, relationships are work. So if that person is constantly putting off their feelings or what they want to do to make the wife happy, to me, I think that's a tad bit selfish. And things don't always, and I think that's a quickest way to divorce. So for me, I think it's always about making sure each other are happy and that it's a balance. Because Coach Deion, I'm going to just say Coach Prime had a perfect quote when he was on a podcast. And he said, are you okay? Are you still okay or still happy when you don't get your way?
Okay.
And I think that was the biggest takeaway. Like, he could have said 1,000,001 things, but are you happy when you don't get your way? And you think about that sometimes. Like, you may not be happy. You may not be... sometimes people are indifferent. I tend to be okay that sometimes that if I don't get my way about it, it's okay because I didn't win this time. It's not about how many wins you take or how many losses you take. It's about that compromise. So for me, it's more of he can win this one today, and I'm not going to even fight on it. It's okay. He can have that W. I know that there's sometimes that there's a give on your side. So it always...
Oftentimes.
I tend to disagree.
Oftentimes.
But, okay, if you say so.
There we go.
But that's the man in you saying that.
No,
But
it's
whatever.
not. It's the realist in me.
No, it's not. That cannot be the realist in
It's
you.
the realist in me because this is one of those situations where I would say men tend to give a lot more or a lot easier in order to keep the peace in the house, due to the fact that the statement that I made on the last episode. Oftentimes, we sacrifice what we want most for what we want now. What we want most is a marriage and to be happy and what have you. So we'll sacrifice what we want right now in that point in time in order to have the longevity. Well, I think it's vice versa. That when you guys want something, y'all want it right then, right now. And y'all forget about the big picture. Y'all, you know.
Sometimes, go ahead. I think sometimes we are thinking about the bigger picture. But there goes you when you say, oh, women be plotting. So you can't have it both ways.
Women do plot.
You laughing because you've heard him say that, right?
Women do plot.
That's true.
But
What is my quote for this
plotting.
show?
Why?
Women are capable of a far deeper cruelty than any man.
It's not about us plotting. We're planning, and we're
Book of
creating-
Solomon.
That book on fire.
No, it's not.
That book is on
real.
fire.
It's on,
But
it's on flesh
what
right
I'm
now.
saying to this is that you can't have it both ways, saying, oh, we gonna get our way. No, we don't. There are far more hurt women out here than there are hurt men. And I say this
I think
because
that's true.
and I say this because while you think we get our way, when y'all do stuff to us that hurt us, we still hang in there. But the minute we
dissect what I just stated.
go ahead.
Sacrifice people.
For what we want.
People sacrifice what they want most for what they want now. So if at that point in time, this man is stating that, you know, what I want most is a happy marriage, and at that point in time, the woman is like, you know, I want what I want right now. You know, at some point in time, he's gonna feel tired of being neglected, and then he goes on to do things where he feels he's no longer neglected, which means that he might be stepping
Sometimes
out.
he do stuff even when he ain't really neglected. It's just
And
that
so
it's
when
an
you-
opportunity. Because
when-
we've heard that on
How-
here before. Men do stuff out of opportunity.
How many times do we always hear, you know, he stepped out on me, he cheated, this, that, and the other? Well, let's move back and take a step back. And I'm not vindicating any man who's had infidelity. Trust me, this is not what I'm trying to do. What I am trying to do is say,
that women get what they want
what's
more?
the spill that triggered the fall? If you wouldn't have made that spill, he wouldn't have slipped on the milk and fell.
Sometimes you can be creating an environment. You can be doing everything for him that you think he truly
Quite
wants
possibly. I
and
won't disagree
everything
with that.
else, and he can still not be happy. And sometimes that's why I always say that as women, we have to get comfortable. Like I said, when things don't go your way, are you still okay? And I'm okay when things don't go my way, because there's plenty of stuff that be going on. I be like, here we go. And I know you do the same thing. It's about
Oftentimes.
a compromise.
Oftentimes.
I'd probably do it more than you.
No,
or whatever.
oftentimes, because
It's
you tell me
often-
everything, right?
But it's a
Shout
compromise.
out to
Because you
Real
tell me
Tiff.
everything,
I
right?
do, but you don't write it down.
Yeah.
You don't write it down, because I can tell you the same thing that you were complaining about this morning. You did to me. You want to know how?
How?
We went to an event, and you told me the month before, and then the day of, you reminded me, and you didn't even tell me the theme of the event, that they were wearing pink and something. And I was like, so when was you gonna tell me that? Oh. And so when it's done back, wait, time out.
because
So
Wait,
now you got to
wait.
struggle to find
Wait,
something
wait,
pink.
no,
The
because-
day
Yeah,
of?
yeah,
She
because
gotta
I don't really
understand.
own a lot of stuff
No,
that's
she
pink.
has
I'm
to
not a pink
understand
person.
that
I
when we
love red
attend
and
these
black.
events and what have you with friends, they might put a theme out there, but it's not that important that you.
But
be
the
in
fact
theme,
that he
right?
knew.
That's true, though.
So
time out.
it's not like they're like, you can't come in if you're not dressed the appropriate way, you
It's
know.
not that, but you don't want to be the odd man out. If I had ample amount of time to find out what I needed to wear,
Listen, I got
I
enough
would've
balls.
picked
I
to
got
be a
enough balls
part.
to wear all black to an all white party, so I'm not worried
that's
about
just
that.
you don't want to follow the rules, and that's
Exactly.
okay.
So it don't
And you
matter
don't
what
want to
the
be.
I'm the
a
theme
part
same
of it.
way.
It's
I'm
okay.
He's being Deion Sanders.
But let me explain. When we got married and we had our wedding or whatever, we had a very small wedding, and my simple request to people was wear black. That way you ain't got to look for nothing so hard. I just want your presence meant that much more to me. You ain't got to try and figure out nothing, because everybody usually has something black in their closet.
Yeah.
So for picture purposes, I was the only thing that was light, like in white, or it was a cream.
You was in white when you got married.
These nuts. So y'all don't make me act like that. These people are here. My thing is, when the pictures came out, I was the only one that had on something lighter than everybody else. Solomon and them had on a little bit of color, but they still had on black. I was the only one, because it was technically I'm the star of the show, the bride, whatever.
Yeah.
But Well, I'm gonna throw something in your eyes, man. Oh my god! But that's technically how it normally works. When you have these events and you throw a theme, you want people to be a part of the theme, and it's a lot of times it's just for the picture purposes, for the fact that okay, if I had a cowboy theme and Solomon came up there, he and his Buccaneers, he should stay his behind home because that was not what they asked some people for. So my thing is, when you're
it's just like
you
going
didn't give me.
like we went Thursday night. We go to a Bucks Cowboy game, and someone shows up in Giants gear.
And you was
Or Browns gear, right, sir?
And the first thing you said was,
why?
What? Thank
I
you.
do.
You know,
But the
I go to Bucks games with Browns gear.
All the
on.
Bucks games that we've ever been to, he's wearing a brown shirt.
You pick a side.
he just
pick
hoping
a
it rub
side.
off on them. That's all. You know.
Pick a side. That's all I'm saying. Pick a
Because
side.
you'll find the people that are like,
But
go Browns.
forget the theme. What I'm saying is, you got what's the day? September 11th.
Yeah.
You got an event coming up. You tell me on August 10th, hey, you know, September 11th, we got a dinner party we're going to. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, no problem. And I don't hear
And
nothing
I only
else.
RSVP for it.
I don't hear anything else for the next
time
month.
out. So time out.
She got the invitation. Do you really think for the next month the only thing on my mind is, oh, September 11th coming up?
So
I got a
keep
dinner
that
party I
same
gotta go to,
energy
you know?
when you did it to me. It's okay. So you mad when it's done to you, but
I didn't
when
tell
you
you a
did it to
theme.
me,
You didn't tell me a
you
date.
didn't. Solomon, you didn't even tell me. You reminded me that morning. You was like, oh, by the way, this. I was like, oh. He was like, I did tell you last month. Okay. I just went with the flow. I didn't argue. I didn't say anything. I just went with the flow and said, okay, I'll find the thing closest to that, and I'll do my best. That's all. But Solomon gets in a place where, no, you didn't. Yes, I did. Don't start acting like Scooby-Doo. I don't want to hear all that.
See what happens?
I don't want to hear all that.
Alfred, what happens at our house?
Wow.
We have a tendency of saying, "I told you something,"
I told you so?
and no, not "I told you so," but
I
remember
told
we
you
had
something.
remember we
We
had
had
this
this
conversation.
conversation.
No, we didn't have that. But I told you. Remember 3 weeks
So,
and 2 hours and
let me tell
45
you,
minutes
in
ago?
the past, it would have been that. But I've been very intentional in 2021 about telling Solomon stuff and letting him stick to it, whatever. So he's talking about, I'm going, like he made a big deal. Oh, I'm going to get a calendar and put it on the refrigerator so everybody can see it. Great idea. I ain't get mad. I
That
said
way
that'll
nobody
be,
can say, "Hey,
that
you
would
know,
be great."
When you told me we got an event on this date,
that would be.
Put it on
Let
the
me tell you,
calendar.
that would be great because if he walks in my office, he'll see I write everything on my calendar and I
what was the
also
key
write
word?
it in
What
my
was the key word
phone.
there? When I walk in whose office?
In my office.
No, her office.
In my office. It's in my office.
All right, not
But
my
so that's
office,
why I
her
don't have
office.
that's why I don't have a problem with the calendar thing. So what I started doing and he didn't know when he started telling me, "Oh, I got this." And he was reminding me, "Oh, you know them wired in the what's the little draft she be doing?"
Fantasy football.
Thank you. Fantasy football draft. You got to get royal. You got to do such. I just started putting it down, and he'll say, "So do you remember?" I say, "Yeah, I remember you have fantasy draft."
You had to write it
I
down.
wrote
Because
it down.
I'm writing it down. I'm taking accountability so that way I don't have to say, well, he ain't tell me that. So don't get mad when somebody did the same thing to you.
Did I tell you a month in advance?
You did.
I think I told you like 2 weeks.
No,
in
you
advance.
did a month in advance. And it doesn't matter. It was still in advance. You think I'd be sitting there thinking about, oh, Solomon got all this stuff going on in 2 weeks. No, I'm a whole mama. I'm an employee at somebody's company. I have to man my own stuff. I make his doctor's his appointment. So at what point do I get a break?
You don't.
Okay. I just wanted that attitude. I wanted them to hear that.
It
I
doesn't.
wanted
You
them to
don't
hear
get a
that
break.
attitude.
Those are the responsibilities that come with being my
She needs
wife.
a vacation, Solomon.
Trust
Yeah.
me, she gets vacations.
I take them through my company. I use my
No,
PTO
she don't.
days.
Listen,
No, I'm saying is vacation from all that. Just
she-
you, a girls trip.
she gets daily vacations. She gets. I'm going to the grocery store and gone for 3 hours at a time.
So when Solomon says this, I work from home all day.
I do too.
He can leave his job and go out. I be talking to him. You hear all kind of traffic. Thank you for coming to so and so. May I take your order, dude? What are you doing? I don't.
Get something to eat.
I don't look, but the way I go get to eat at is in the kitchen. I don't leave home.
Actually, I do.
So when he
So
come
you
home,
choose not to.
Solomon, why?
You choose not to
We
leave
live
home.
in between 3, 4 school zones. You think when I go at 12
Do
o'clock?
you have a scheduled time that you can take lunch?
No. But
Exactly. So you're saying you live within 3 schools.
Solomon.
You coordinate that. I'm going to do that before school gets out
So
or after school
Solomon,
gets
you
out.
and Royal get a break away from the home. So when you get home and you have Royal for that time, and I'll go to the store, it ain't no 3 hours,
It
but
is
it be
3
like an
hours.
hour because you be like, the whole TV show
Just
done
feels
ran
like
off.
3 hours.
It feels like 3 hours because he missed me. But it's not. It's really an hour.
Then, sir, she started pulling one of my old moves, like an old player from him. Shannon, damn, you've been gone a long time. You couldn't pick up. Oh, my phone was dead.
Yeah.
My phone died. I
Time
have
out.
a charge. I'm like, come on, man.
Serge.
Tell that to somebody who ain't used this before. You know what I'm saying?
Serge, listen, you guys. Solomon knows for a fact my phone dies. I need a new phone. I do. But I ain't running out to go get one. I'm just not. It'll work. So my phone died. He
funny,
talking about.
It's funny how that phone
Let me
don't
ask
die
you.
at from 10:30 at night to 1 o'clock in the morning
Can I
when
ask
you
you
playing
this?
games
Can
on
I
it.
ask you? Because it's
Oh,
charged.
really?
It's charged next to the bed. But let me ask you, when you looking for me, are you home with the kid? No. I have her. So it's nobody. So is he missing the fact that he got an empty house or what?
Maybe I'm being a great husband trying to check on my wife's safety.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. What if
Boom.
what if
After
that's
he
it?
done came back from the cigar lounge or from the fantasy football draft.
By the way,
or
cigar
from the
lounges
house.
are awesome.
Yeah.
I've been to 2 of them.
Oh, okay. That's what's Look at you. Alfie stepping on out there.
Yeah. Thanks, Solomon.
Gotcha.
No problem.
For the
at all.
suggestion.
Hey, I told you when you want to go up, hit me.
Let's do it.
All I'm saying.
I might have some free time tonight if you're free.
He might. Yeah, because he probably ain't going to the event with me because I think I'm just going in and stopping in and saying that's
I
like
just need
hello
some
and
food,
that's
but
it.
we'll figure that out.
But Solomon may be free. He is more than welcome to be free. The difference between Solomon and I is that when he get mad about something, he be like, I ain't going. He really be thinking I'm going to follow behind him with an attitude. I be like, oh, okay. Let me go ahead and get my clothes on. And I just go.
Hold on, but see, her attitudes are totally different.
Oh.
She might not show the frustration I show, but she's like, okay, you ain't got to go, I'm going. But those
Later
are the,
on.
those are the times that coincidentally her phone dies.
So was my phone. Was my
So I was
phone
like, yeah, I'm
dead?
gonna go and I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna make him wonder what I'm doing.
Look. All I said was okay.
What I say?
Guilty.
Plotting.
It's not.
Oh, he don't want to go. All right.
Cool.
It's
My
not
battery,
plot-
my battery on
'Cause
30%.
look.
It'll be on 0 by the time I leave this house.
Because I'm gonna take all the pictures and I'm gonna be all the videos. No, but my thing is, you can't get mad when somebody does the same exact thing to you. I think you just have to take it like, okay, yeah, my bad. She may have said it to me, and like I said, I owned it. I said, you're right. I did not remind you. I just reminded you this morning. And either you can go or you don't. You don't have to go. It's okay. I'm not mad. I won't be disappointed because the things that I haven't, like if I'm doing something, it's usually amongst family. So it is what it is.
You can always
That's-
grab your
that's
girl
neat.
Tiffany.
Huh?
You can always grab your girl Tiffany.
Tiffany, man, she live out of town. She be tripping. She got a little business, so she be trying to be
Yeah.
a little busy. But no, people have stuff going on, and I should do better by reaching out to people and seeing if they want to pick up that slack or go in that space. But I just go by myself.
Or
I'm
join
trying-
you at events that you've been invited to by asking if they can come along.
Yeah,
Look at her.
yeah.
Oh, she in Tampa?
She was
She
finding.
and Tip, oh, Tip, I see it. If he don't want to go, you got it.
Please
Nah.
fill in.
So let's
Please.
transition from that
Two.
to I wanted to bring up a topic where we had when we were talking about it. We only touched on it a little bit, and it was about the Brittany Renner story, the chick who is the video vixen IG model who trapped the basketball player and having a baby. So I was like,
she
on,
cute, though?
I was on
Plotting.
TikTok.
Plotting.
She did. But let me. So check her checklist. Like I think, so this is my thing. I'm gonna have to put a little bit on y'all because I think y'all need to do y'all homework.
Is she cute?
Because she is. I'm not knocking her.
What's her name?
Brittany Renner. So she's previously dated Lil Uzi Vert, Ben Simmons,
Wow, that's the first name pop up.
Drake, James Harden,
She for the
and
streets.
Colin
There you go.
Kaepernick, just to name a
Ooh.
few.
Damn, she's cute.
Colin made
Oh
her.
shit! Look at
Colin
that ass.
said to
Sorry.
her, "If you want to be with me, you
Look
gonna
at the
have to
university, by the way.
where
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
No, what's this way?
No, she was going to
Oh,
Kentucky.
Yeah, she attended Jackson State University.
Oh,
No.
Shout out to Coach Prime.
whatever. Don't
Yeah,
do
you know.
that. Do
By
not
the
do
way,
that. Do not
when
do that.
they were doing that interview, like right behind them were all the cheerleaders. Like, damn.
So she,
Anyway,
Colin Kaepernick would make her pay for her own flights to come see him. He's like, if it ain't about the money, then pay for
Yeah,
yourself
go
to
ahead.
get out here.
Put up.
So she really liked Colin, but then she tried to trap him, and he had to put that message out that ain't mine. And people didn't know why he was saying this, but it was because she was trying to trap him. So then she makes this video and says, I think I'm gonna just turn my attention to NBA players. Let them snatch me up, get pregnant, and you'll be set for life. So some women are calling her the best talent scout out there, and some people are mad that she trapped this basketball player. I'm a little disappointed, but at the same time, I think men don't do their homework.
That's true. And you know what? I've never been an athlete so much.
No, it's sacrificing what you want most for what you want now. All they're saying is, I mean, we're looking at the pictures. Very attractive female.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, I can hit that and be done and move on. The same
button.
chick that we made fun of at the 2019 NFL draft. I, Serge was in it as well. The girl that CeeDee Lamb grabbed the phone from.
Oh, and snatched that phone.
Okay. CeeDee Lamb, Oklahoma wide receiver.
Yeah.
Before she dated CeeDee Lamb, who was she dating?
Trey
Young.
Yeah.
Oklahoma point guard.
Right.
You know? So, I mean, there are females out there that are doing this.
No, and the thing is that you would think that he has a team around him that would be.
It don't even need to be a team.
Well, no, seriously.
What kind of vetting are you men doing?
No, what I'm saying is, like,
the fact that you're not
You
vetting,
check her IG and that's it. That's all you need to see.
don't they have PR
That's what y'all
people
do?
for that stuff?
You check
Man,
the
you
IG?
got a phone.
No, what I'm saying is there's that.
I don't need no PR.
When,
They
when
need
an
a
athlete
PR
gets to a certain
publicist.
point, and you know,
Now, so
outside high school,
this
to
dude
college-
that she's having a baby from with
She
the
had
Hornets.
the baby
She
from
had the
already.
I fault him because this chick has written a book
That said
that said this is
and
what
it's
she
on
does,
video,
and he
people
still
snap-
got trapped. So that was just him being a dumbass, and you know,
Pretty much.
whoever you are, you know, dummy of the week, whatever,
PJ
donkey of the
Washington.
day, PJ Washington. You know, that's why the Hornets suck because you on it, you ain't using your brain,
Really?
but
Really?
whatever.
Most of you men aren't using your brain, not the one that's up here between your ears, at
Listen,
least.
like I said, he got trapped. Now, do I agree with what the judge said he should be paying? No.
hell no.
I think he should go for a joint custody.
Yeah, because that's
And
like
that's the way that you go about that. I think he don't have no homegirls he need a homegirl from Jackson State, a fan you somewhere to
She
tell
from
him.
Jackson State.
He need a homegirl, not her.
Yeah,
He
that
need
was
a
his homegirl.
Nah,
And
she
he-
start. So what she did was she was. I ain't mad. That was a brilliant idea. My girl said I got a million IG followers. I'm gonna start posting up at these Kentucky games because they usually go pro, go first round. Let me holler at one of them. I ain't mad at her because she was out here scouting. She did her homework.
Scouting and plotting are two different
She
things.
was scouting because she was trying to figure out who she wanted. So once she figured out, she honed in on him. He green because he like, oh, she fine. She older. She like
Yup.
me, this and that, blah, blah. This is why I say men don't do their homework. They chasing that pretty face and not seeing what's really going on.
Okay.
So I fought him. I ain't mad at her. Like I think she was.
So at this point in
Morally,
time,
I think she's.
I'm gonna give you
ruthless.
exactly what he was thinking.
Go ahead.
What every other one thinks. Oh, she's fine. You know, get her back to the hotel. You know, date her for a little bit, smash her a couple times, this, that, and the other. What he wasn't thinking about is she getting pregnant. I mean, let's be honest. You're talking about doing your research. You're trying to tell me all these athletes, the Chris Humphreys, the Reggie Bushes, the what have you, that have messed with Kim Kardashian. Nobody knew what her plan was.
But that's where I go at. All these men, they recycling the same bras. Hell,
Exactly.
I'm gonna throw Diddy out there.
Yeah, because he.
Diddy doing it too. Diddy going after his son, sloppy second.
Nah,
I ain't gonna
he's
say
with
sloppy
Future's
second.
ex now.
But
Future and Bow
So
Wow.
Lori Harvey dated his son first.
Yeah.
Called his ex Mama Kim. Then he round here running around with her. Then after her, it was who else was it? It was somebody else's ex. But now it's Diddy. Now I ain't knocking. Now Future and Bow Wow they baby mama, she bad.
Mm-hmm.
But here you go, old man out here trying to still play young because them girls, she looking at dollars.
But in this,
securing bags.
so in Diddy's situation, if something happens, it's like, all right, well, you know, if I got to pay this, do you think he's really gonna be?
I don't
the
think
same way
so.
we held
She's
this argument.
securing bags.
The same way we held this argument about Dre and what he's got to pay. I mean, and at the end of the day, does he want to pay it? No. Is it gonna hurt him? No.
All I'm saying is y'all supplying these lies for these women. That Joy Chavez, I wouldn't have known who she was hadn't she been Bow Wow baby mama first. Then because Bow Wow and Future was taking jabs, and Future jab was a little bit harder because he was hotter, I wouldn't have known who she was. So they lining these ladies' purses. All these rappers and stuff that I named, and these athletes who I named about this girl Joy Brenner, Brittany Renner, who now she has these things. Y'all can't get mad when these women be hollering about child support because y'all are reckless. Y'all are chasing that hot tail and not really trying to figure out who it is. So we're in a culture of it's okay to be my baby mama, but you'll never be my wife. That's the culture we raised.
Well, like I said, go back to your team behind you. If you let this athlete, who you know is going to go into the NFL, the NBA, whatever the case is, start getting reckless and watch him slipping, somebody's got to say something to him. Especially if they catch that on Instagram or
His
whatever.
homeboys, I'm sure, but no,
Twitter.
no. Then again, guys don't
because-
talk.
no,
Y'all
'cause at
don't
this
talk
point-
like women.
No, at this point in time,
Well,
talking
y'all
about,
do
like,
no,
in a
what's
barbershop.
happening is, dude, she ain't no good for you. This that. Hey, chill, man, chill out. Hey, her homegirl bad too, so you be quiet. I'm gonna put you on.
That's
That's
what
true.
y'all
too.
Yeah.
That's what y'all
Sorry,
do.
keep it
Yeah.
real.
You know they always got
That's
friends.
true.
Keep it a buck.
They always
think-
got friends.
This is beyond.
This is why you hire
this is
professional people to
beyond
do
me.
that
I
shit.
feel like this is above me. Y'all just the level of stupidity of men sometimes is above me.
Wait, how my
It's
it's,
above-
Hold on. It's a right way.
That
and a wrong
lady,
way.
look.
Think about
if somebody give me $200,000 a month, you think I'm ever working on anybody's job?
No.
The hell with Social Security. I don't need nothing for mine because I've already secured the bag.
Listen, it's the crew that you hang around with, and what do I tell you all the time about myself? I keep my circle very, very tight. Because
just you.
It's just me. Because if I do something wrong, I ain't gonna tell on me. I ain't say shit. They ain't see shit. Ain't shit happen. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? So, like you said, these homeboys ain't keeping the main dude accountable. What do I always say? Somebody should have took the hit from Michael Vick.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
would still be eating if Michael Vick didn't go to jail.
That's right.
LeBron's crew, hey, they cover his
eating.
ass.
They
You,
eating.
you and I talked about this.
They
When I said, LeBron's never been caught up in any type of infidelity.
has been,
He's
but
been, but it wasn't
It
publicized.
wasn't. Yeah.
The crew kept it
Kobe
under wraps.
Bryant.
Not even that. The people is not gonna let y'all talk about LeBron
Now,
like that.
now, Kobe, for instance, my favorite athlete. Kobe
Rest in
was
peace.
Kobe was one of those people whom he disassociated himself from the entire crew. He stood alone by himself.
And what
so
happened?
when he got caught out there was no one to take the rap for him. There was no one
So
to
that
help him
can
say.
backfire.
There was no one to say, "Hey, Kobe, man, I got this. What have you?" Because he was a loner.
Oh, so you just that's what y'all out here taking hits for each other.
There was.
That's what it is.
Listen, you got Tiger Woods. I mean, for as great as an athlete golfer as he
When you
is,
saw that, he was the dumbest man on earth.
you had enough money to say,
Not on earth,
Listen,
on earth with an
hey,
L.
I just left this Perkins restaurant, and there's a waitress in there who I just really want to get to know. I'm at this hotel, at this room, blah blah blah. Hey, go back into the Perkins, hand her this note, give her a cell phone, a burner phone or something. Tell her hit me up. Let's see what I can. Versus, hey, let me come outside in the car, in the backseat of my car in the Perkins parking lot. Come on, Tiger.
Tiger, come
Tiger.
He was thinking he was sacrificing what he wanted now.
on. Exactly.
Okay.
And that's why that phrase works.
Okay.
Listen,
Tiger.
God knows who to give money to and who to put in the limelight to do certain things. Because I think if I was blessed with the natural athletic ability that a Tiger or some of these people were, and then we're putting those opportunities, I mean, I could have gotten away
You
with
ain't
a
even
lot more.
had
I ain't even have it, and I was doing that stuff.
Yeah,
exactly.
until it didn't work.
Exactly.
Until it didn't work.
So I mean, I just think there's a right way and a wrong way to do things if you're gonna do it.
But that's why I always tell women, it doesn't matter what his status is and how people be like, "Oh, girl, he cheated. Leave him." Don't you got to be so embarrassed? There's always a rich woman out there who done been cheated on. There's a poor one. There's a one in the middle class. It has happened to everyone on every level. It
Prime
happens.
example. Put it like this: Michael Jordan
Go ahead.
goes through the whole divorce with Juanita, loses X amount of millions of
It ain't
dollars and
hurt
what have
him.
you. It didn't hurt him.
It ain't even ding his pocket.
But so you don't think in this new marriage that this wife already know, hey, listen, I already know your reputation. You're going to be stepping out on me and what have you. So there's no way in hell that I'm signing a prenup. Because once you get caught, I'm taking it all.
I don't think they even had a prenup.
They don't have a prenup.
They don't.
Who,
But-
Mike's new girl?
No.
Michael Jordan and his new wife, there's
She
no
don't even
prenuptial
time out.
agreement.
She don't even need a prenup. She got like
She got
twins.
twins from him,
She don't
so
need
she's gonna be
nothing
taken care
else.
of for
She'll be
life
good
anyway. But now she says, "I want a divorce. I'm taking."
Brown would never.
Think about. and you know what?
Eddie Murphy.
You know what kills in this is the fact that Mike was a minority owner in the Wizards before he became 100%
Now
owner
she
of
eats
the
half
Hornets.
of it.
He didn't become 100% owner of the Hornets until he got married to her.
Oh,
So now the complete value of the Hornets, he has to split with her.
Yeah.
what do you
Run me
say?
that bad.
Mike.
MJ.
But see that.
Brown would never.
But you know what? Now that he has more on the line, I
Now
think that
he's- yeah,
he'll
he's
be,
got that
and he's
responsibility.
older too. He's going to be a little bit more responsible about it or understand
no,
that.
I don't think so.
But why is it that I was listening to a lady who does these like single lady Tuesdays, whatever, trying to like get in a relationship, and it like single people Tuesdays, whatever it is. This chick I follow, but she's like a news reporter or something up north. I'm not gonna put my hand on it right now anyway. But she does these things where she's vetting these people. So she's like, look, what if you find a guy who's making this? And the lady that she was interviewing at this time who was on live, she's from Atlanta or whatever, in the Atlanta area. She wants a man who makes at least $80,000 because she makes about 70 or whatever. She wants him to make about the more. So the lady said, what if he's not black? Are you okay with that? She said, I really want him to be black. Okay, so now your dating pool is smaller. She said, well, do you mind if he have other women? And she was like, I don't want to share. So now your dating pool is even that much smaller. Because as these men get this money in a certain space, they feel entitled to more than just one. And if he's telling you that up front, that lady says, so if he's making $100,000, let's say, and let's say $100,000 may not, it depends on where you live, that $100,000 is a lot of money. Because you could live in New York and $100,000 feel like $50,000.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's nothing.
Tampa's getting there.
Right. So, true.
Yeah, for real.
Sure. But you can feel that way. My thing is, why is it that when men have that level of power, that they can command that? That you be one of however many for a woman.
And a woman can't without even making that money?
Right.
Because let me tell you this. As Alfie just said, cigar lounges. So you and your homegirl decide to go in, and I'm just going to throw Tampa Cigar Lounges out there. You decide to go into Davidoff's on a Thursday night.
Cigar International, but go
Hold
ahead.
on. Hold on. Let me finish the scenario, please.
Go ahead. Finish.
Miss Entitlement.
Finish, sir. you may finish, master. Go ahead.
So you and your homegirls go on Davidoff's on a Thursday night. Black guy approaches you, makes six figures.
Oh, you gonna get this indecent proposal, but go ahead.
Hold on. Says, hey, I'm interested in getting to know you a little bit more, blah, blah, blah.
Go ahead.
You're like, cool. Y'all exchange numbers. This, that, and the other happens. The following Saturday, you and the same homegirls go to Cigar International.
Okay.
A different black guy who makes six figure, nice looking, approaches you. Exchange numbers.
So wait a minute. When we exchange these numbers, is it gonna be like a Jennifer Hudson, one night only?
It may be. You don't know. You don't know where it leads.
Oh, okay.
He just checks the boxes that you may have right there. So now, on a Thursday, you've been at Davidoff's and you had this guy that checks a box. On Saturday, you've been at Cigar International. You had this guy that checks a box. The next Friday, you go to Cheney's, meet another guy, six figures, black guy, nice looking.
All these six figures. Go ahead.
All right. So
where was they when I was single? But go ahead.
So that's what I'm telling you. Now, at this point in time, they ain't asking what you bring to the table. They just see a pretty face. Okay. So y'all can command the same situation without even having those responsibilities that you want a man to have.
In that situation.
Why isn't it? Because now you have three different men whom you have three different encounters with based on you just being a pretty face.
But they ain't my man.
At that
these
point,
women are, these people are looking for a relationship.
When this dude says when this dude says he wants more than one, he ain't saying that, oh, that's my woman, that's my woman, that's my woman. He just says he wants to be involved with it.
But these people are looking for people that they're dating. So if this is someone you're dating,
it all depends on what you're quote unquote calling dating.
Okay, then okay. I can get with that. But I ain't mad. So I can't get mad when whatever happens after that happens. So for example, when they get took for suckers, because that usually happen. I can't get mad at them. I can't be mad at the women for like they were up there scouting on scout team because she done scouted three winners.
Okay.
And she could take her pick. So I don't get mad. I can't get mad at this woman for in this case Brittany Renner because she had all these different guys. So
why do females get mad at men if they're involved with multiple women at the same time? Because
sometimes it's not communicated.
Maybe they're scouting to see what's their best.
Well, communicate that scouting, sir. Communicate.
That goes both ways.
When
you got that third phone number at that cigar lounge, you ain't saying, "Hey,
I got two other numbers."
Exactly.
This is hypothetical.
Nope, keeping it quiet.
It depends on the conversation that you're having. Excuse me. It depends on the conversation that you're having. So if we just exchanging numbers.
Hey, I want you to know it's other guys that I'm talking to.
Look, every man for himself. What you want to do?
Why ain't every woman for themselves?
Well, then if you communicate that's a different conversation. So most of these women are mad because they don't know they one of three or four. And they be thinking, oh, he just bought me, we serious, this and that. But have these conversations.
Yeah, you get mad when you say, oh, he's just about me, and you find out there's three or four, but you ain't telling him, oh, I've been on 2 or 3 different dating apps, and I got one from each app.
A dating app? That don't count.
Oh, we don't know people that's be on dating apps?
Cigar, so let's just stick with the cigar thing.
Let's stick with that, because dating apps is different. All I'm saying is if you're communicating, let's say you're dating somebody, people need to have these conversations.
She knows this because she's my homegirl at the cigar lounges. we can go to these different cigar lounges and see the same single females at
Everywhere.
these
Of
different
course.
cigar lounges that don't smoke at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
you know
are
what?
there?
Because they know where the money.
They on
They
the
know where the
prowl.
money is.
They on the prowl, and I'm not knocking
Yeah.
them for being on the prowl.
By the way, can I break something really fast?
Go
When I was
ahead.
there, just a side note, when I went in there to Davidoff's, and this is the first
Did you
time
see
I've
my
ever
girl
been there.
Casey?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, she.
But-
They all got brown hair, so I can't.
$15,000 bottle.
Woo! Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
big bottle.
Yeah.
Check this.
Behind glass, $15,000.
Yup.
Yeah.
What the
And,
fuck?
and the rule is when
That's why girls go to cigar.
Look, and the rule is when you see the guys with most of the girls will flock to the dude who bought the whole
Yeah.
box
Who bought the
of
bottle,
cigars.
because
in
it's
the
like
bottle.
when he
Cigars
buys
in the bottle.
he's passing
He's
on
gonna
free.
share his
Yeah,
cigars.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
Again, this is my first time, so you know.
It's okay.
Yeah, no.
It was a
It's
good time,
okay.
though. It was a good
But I'm
time.
glad you're not a virgin for the cigar lounge no more.
Okay,
That
well, I
works.
hadn't smoked.
You don't. Oh, so you was acting like
I
the
was like
women.
the chick that.
You was acting like the women.
He was
Go
out here
on,
trying to win.
acting like- yeah, trying to catch a winner.
Scout
Look at
team.
you, scout
Scout
team.
team.
Here you go.
Scouting.
But
You're-
I wouldn't mind partaking sometime.
okay.
I just
well,
need like an education on it.
Solomon is perfect.
Don't
He
inhale.
educated me. Yeah.
That's-
What?
That was a
Do
mistake. I
not
made.
inhale.
Remember when I
Oh,
took
my God.
when-
Unless you're
when-
trying to throw up.
No, you trying
I
to
was
die
close.
because it
Yeah.
feel like your chest be burning.
Exactly.
That is the worst smoke
Exactly.
ever.
I tried that.
I messed around and
long
did
time
that
ago.
one time,
Yeah.
and no.
Like back at about 2008 or 9, my uncle and his friends came down here for a bachelor party,
Uh-huh.
and you know I was guiding them around and cigar. First time I ever had one,
Oh, you
Never
was
even-
trying
and I
to.
thought it was like a blind. I took it to the
Never even told him.
Oh boy.
Black.
Yeah, no, no,
That in that cough,
Nope.
it lingers for a minute.
nah.
I just
nah,
think,
you
like I
just got
said,
to get the taste, the aroma, the
I think-
flavor.
yeah,
And then
you
the
gotta
other
get a
thing
little
is like, what
education.
alcohol do you? Because there's a lot of bourbons and a lot of.
That's all your personal.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so what
Because
she
when I
like?
go, a lot of times I'll have a Jack and Coke, Jack Honey and Coke. So the Jack Honey and Coke is good for me. Like, but most of the things you have is probably like I don't really see a lot of people drinking those and
Yeah, it's
have
gonna
white
be- it's gonna be
liquor.
like
It's
a
usually a
brown.
bourbon,
It's
some
gonna be
of
like a
brown
cognac
liquor.
or whiskey.
Yeah,
The bourbon.
yeah.
Okay.
That's usually the thing.
But
You
getting
like
back to
old fashions?
He ain't never had one.
Nah.
Because I could tell by his face when he said that, no, old fashions, as a lady, I'd be like, God, something just put hair on my chest.
Think
This is
about
a
think
lot."
about a strong Hennessy with orange flavor.
Yeah. But Solomon makes a good one because he used a peanut butter scotch. Like a
Like
a
this
peanut butter,
whiskey?
yeah, whiskey. Like a peanut butter whiskey. And
Peanut butter
it works.
whiskey with a little bit of Hennessy and then an orange.
Yeah, it tastes pretty good.
We'll explore that. But
Yeah,
back
most
to your.
definitely. So
Do
back
not
to my-
inhale.
I learned that lesson.
That's all I'm saying.
Just take it
Look.
nice and slow.
Back to what I was saying, I really think
Sorry.
that if you're dating, if you're having constant communication about what you want and what you desire, I think that men are always scared to tell a woman, hey, I think, I ain't trying to be locked in. If you tell them that,
Yeah, you telling that off a
you
rip.
give them an opportunity to decide how they choose to move forward with you.
In the same token, women aren't necessarily coming out and saying, "Hey, I'm interested in you because I see a future with you."
Some of them do.
Most of them don't.
It depends on how many dates you done been on. What
depends-
questions they ask.
It depends on how many dates you've been on with different people.
What question you ask. They vetting.
You know, and
They
then
scouting.
Yep, that's what it is. They're trying to do the vet process. They're trying to
So
vet
how
through
can
what
y'all vet
applications.
when we can't vet?
You can, but y'all tend to vet. And
We
got
gotta
to
keep it a buck though when we vet.
Y'all don't vet. Thank you, Serge. I appreciate you being 100% honest on that one. Because men, when y'all are vetting, y'all ain't telling nobody nothing. Y'all
Nobody's
got her feeling
telling
like she
anybody
doing
When
it.
you're getting
And I
vetted
don't
for an
expect
interview,
that.
they don't tell you what they doing.
Look, you ask questions because I know I showed
You will ask questions?
Let me tell you what I asked. So, okay, for this role, what is normal day in the life of this type of role? When can I expect to find out your final decision?
Okay.
How many more interviews are there left? Because you can ask these questions. People scared to. Do you have how many more people are interviewing for this position? And they
Multiple.
can choose to say that
Multiple.
or not. Okay, so when do you expect to have a response by that time? Like a decision?
There is no.
Now
There
it's
is
a
no.
timeline.
There is no infinite.
Now it's a
date.
timeline.
There is no
There's an
estimated
expect-
time.
There is
There
no
is an
definite date.
Okay, well, thank you.
And
That, so when you
when-
don't have a date, that means
Hold on.
okay,
Ask
I'm
that
gonna
question
keep
again.
on looking.
When can you expect an answer? When we find a qualified candidate.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. I appreciate your time. Now I can move on because your
We'll stay in
response,
contact.
the response that you gave me lets me know I need to keep searching because
Yep.
you're searching for something. I'm going to continue to search as well.
Okay.
And that's all. Just have the
And
conversation.
it should be that simple, but
But
Let's
it's
have that
not.
conversation.
It never is.
because
Have that
everybody's
conversation.
don't want to hurt anybody. You know that's what
You
it
don't want to
is.
hurt nobody's feeling, but you hurt
Yeah.
them with the lie.
Yeah.
The lie is the one that hurt because 9 times out of 10, a person, the truth hurts, but that lie hurts way worse and it feels different. So
it's-
just be
yeah,
honest.
but that lie keeps them around.
Oh, see,
Yeah,
and
that's
that's the selfish part though.
Yep.
That's selfish.
Exactly.
To keep it around. I could
'Cause
be
you never
wasting my
know.
time. I could be running around here. I'm over here spending time with Serge up here. He like, yeah, girl, you the one. Boom, boom, boom. And just while he got 11 people over here. Alfie is looking for a one woman type of woman. Y'all don't know each other. I could just start dating the one woman man. Like that's what I desire. If that person could tell that woman that, like, hey, you one of so many, or like, I really am not trying to be tied down right now. Women can respect that.
Yeah, they do.
You allow them to move into an area where, okay, well, this person, let me give him this opportunity.
So,
That's all we ask.
So in this situation,
Go ahead.
let's take the average female.
Go ahead.
My personal experience, not saying you or anybody that I've
Okay.
dated, but what I've observed.
Yeah.
You take someone like Alfie, who's a great guy,
Mm-hmm.
looking for a one-woman man and what have you, willing to do all those things that you're looking for, but 2 weeks earlier, you met this guy who's this Denzel Chestnut looking type dude.
Denzel Chestnut. Oh my God. Go
You know,
ahead. Go
Denzel
ahead.
Chestnut looking type dude who all your girls are saying, girl, he fine. Girl, ooh, yeah, you got you one right there. But he treats you like shit. But you just want to look good in front of your girl, so you keep messing with him while you got a good dude over here who's like, listen, all you got to do is leave that nonsense alone and I got you. But you ain't willing to do that because you want to save face in front of your girl.
Not even that. I
And
think
you know what?
sometimes,
I'm
and I'll
glad
be
you
honest,
brought that up because that is, from my perspective, that seems to be the reality these days.
But some women don't. They say they want these things. They want these boxes checked, or they want this certain thing, but they want it to look packaged a certain kind of way. And when the package doesn't look exactly to a T what they think it should
Yep.
look like, they'll move
They
on.
keep
and
looking.
They missing it. That's what it is. So sometimes you have to like put blinders on and say that if this thing looks the same way in my mind, that's why I tell people, women, a lot of times you just gotta get their mind. Once you stimulate their mind, they'll go that way, and it doesn't have to take it. All the other barriers will move.
So
But a lot of times they're visual.
at the risk of sounding shallow,
Go to break.
no, seriously, I'm gonna say this.
Go to break.
I'm gonna say this at the risk of sounding shallow. You get the women that check these boxes, and it's
Yeah.
like he's got to look like this, he's got to do this, he's got to do that, and what have you. And this is to go back, and I forgot which one of these online guys we were talking about, Kevin Samuels or whoever
Don't
back
even
then.
give him no
But
hype.
seriously, think about it. If a woman says, "I want this, I want that, I want this," as far as how he looks and appeal and what have you, it's just like my man Rob said. It's a car. A man looks at you on his side as an accessory. Who's gonna take a brand new Lamborghini and put some hubcaps on it? What are you doing to accentuate him? If you think I gotta have this dude that's 6'3", 225 pounds chiseled, you think he gonna be walking around with
But
somebody that's
let's not
5'3",
use-
205 pounds?
Look, let's not do it with Kevin Samuels, because my thing is sometimes he get into these spaces where these women look the part, and then he be like, "Oh, but you 40." You know, so like
Well,
he'll
that I
go into
don't
like a
agree
whole
with.
age
But
thing.
what I'm saying
you
is-
past your prime. You ain't in a prime where you can get
No,
this.
what I'm
You gotta
saying
be-
is
So it goes
what
to
I'm
a
saying
whole-
on that perspective is you have these boxes. You're not the only person that has boxes.
Gotcha.
If you got these boxes, why can't he have boxes?
Right.
So if you want him to look a certain way, you have to anticipate that he wants a mate that's going to look a certain way.
Right.
You can't just say I'm getting what I want and that's it.
Well, she's gonna draw to what she sees that works, and she's gonna wait for something to bite. She already, and it's sad to say, but women be like, "Oh, I know he here. He ain't really going nowhere." That's how they
Right,
think.
but so what we were saying about this
That's how-
Brittany,
that's
this
the
Brittany
truth. That's
Renner
how they
girl,
think.
this Brittany Renner girl. When we look at her, for 29, 30 years old, she's a nice looking chick. She's quote unquote fine.
I gotta look around.
What these dudes are looking for. So if she's like, I want an NBA player because this, that, and the other, she's checking the boxes of what these NBA players are looking for.
And
they're
they
looking for
checked her
quote unquote
boxes,
video.
too, because
They
she
checked her
felt-
boxes as far as annual income.
Yep,
That's the only
That's
box
the
she
only
has.
box she has.
But they have, I want her to look like this, and that, and she has it. So that's why they aren't doing their research, as you say,
Okay,
because
so
she
now you
initially
come back
checks
and
those
answer that.
boxes.
But that's why I'm saying men don't do their homework. Y'all will look at the car and don't even care.
Because
that
we're- because
she
we're
was
not
a
look-
Lamborghini with hubcaps on.
Because we weren't looking to put in our garage,
Some
we were looking to
Michelin-
drive it to the club and go back home. That was it.
well, he parked in that garage without his. Without
Now he
any type
is.
of protection,
Now he
so
got there and the
locked
hubcap
in.
fell off and the tire went flat and he
Yeah.
can't tow it.
He got a lemon.
Exactly.
He bought it to buy here, pay here,
Yep.
and he didn't even realize it. But the thing was, her whole time she had trap game. She was like, in her music, she was like, "Yeah, this trap game, I got him. I know what I got." She done coached him up. All I think is he needed some sisters around him. He needed a sister like me, like a homegirl, be like, hey, Shannon,
Oh
such
no,
and such.
that's not
yeah.
her. That's not her.
Yeah, I would have got her. I would have got that. She ain't the one, baby. She look, I done did my homework.
She
Here
for the
you go.
streets.
Yeah, because you know I'm that one. I would say, dude.
I mean,
like,
she can
that's
get it,
everybody
though.
right.
Now that I
She
look at
could,
it,
but
yeah.
so she can get it out.
You definitely driving her to the club. That's it.
Exactly.
Okay, but so you jumping in with no covers on?
Mm.
See, look, and that's how he got caught.
think about it.
So that's the thing with men. Y'all will not even think about that. It's so funny. People will argue about a vaccine. Oh, I don't want that vaccine. But y'all around here being baby mamas and baby daddies. That mean y'all jumping inside somebody you don't even know what they got.
I'll push her off.
So you understand?
Get off me.
My pull-out game
Get
is
off
tight.
I can't.
She looked little too. She looked like she 5'2".
I can't, man.
Yeah, I can't deal with no little
Y'all
5'2"
crazy,
chicks,
man.
Sorry.
Yo.
There's a certain height restriction for this ride.
You gotta ride this, certain night to ride this ride, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, going into the final break of the
Yeah.
day. We'll be right back.
Oh, she got Ohio State Buckeyes on right there.
She had a Kentucky one on
She had
too.
Kentucky
She,
going.
That's how you know
she
she
was
loyal.
selecting her team. Man, what you talking about, yo?
She's for the streets.
So
Is
when
she
our-
from Ohio?
So
or
when
what's
I don't know where
going
she
on?
Oh,
from.
God.
when our producer stops oogling at the
Okay,
phone,
my bad.
We can go to a break. We'll be back with his, hers, and ours. I'm Shannon Royal Davis with my co-host.
Solomon Davis. We'll be right back.
Have a look at all the people seem to know exactly how to be. You think they don't need piles of prescriptions to function naturally. Take a look and you might just catch it. Stay a minute more. There's a little moment after the sunny smile. The eyes fall to the floor. And then truth starts speaking through. A lot like me and you. They can fake a smile too. The anonymous ones never lets you see the hate they carry. All those anonymous words never name the quiet pain they bury. Keep on keeping secrets that they think they have to hide. What if everybody's secret is they have that secret side? And to know we're not alone is all we're hoping for. I don't wanna be anonymous. Why you gotta be anonymous? I don't wanna be anonymous anymore. Spot the girl who stage emotion. Spin so fast so she won't fall.
secrets that they think they have to hide? What if everybody's secret is they have that secret side? And to know we're not alone is all we're hoping for. I don't wanna be anonymous. I ain't gotta be anonymous. I don't wanna be anonymous anymore.
Puda, you the GOAT, boy.
And we are back. Final segment of this week's episode of His, Hers, and Ours. I am your co-host Solomon Davis with
Shannon Royal Davis.
I want to close the show with, everybody knows we're avid sport fans, so I'm going to go around the table here and we're going to go through the week 1 schedule and make our picks.
Oh, that's what we're going
And
to do?
then we'll come back
So,
and see.
don't be trying to do that because look.
Well, we all would have picked the Bucks in that game anyway, so.
Yeah, that's fine.
Go ahead. This is fun. Let's roll.
All right. Seahawks and Colts.
Seahawks.
Everybody with the Seahawks, all right.
Yep.
Don't be trying to put your ticket in on us
No,
now, but go ahead.
It's good.
Jaguars and Texans.
Texans.
Nah, I'm going to take the Jags.
Jaguars.
I'm going to take the Jags.
I'll take the Jags.
I'm going to take the Jags. I'm going to take it. I think Trevor Lawrence look a little bit better. I think, what's the guy they got from the Chargers who's going to be quarterbacking for
Who's home?
the Texans?
Texans are home.
I still think I'm going to take that upset on the road.
Eagles and Falcons.
Eagles. Yeah, Eagles.
You the tiebreaker.
I really don't know on that one, but just because they in the NFC South, I'm going to go with the Eagles.
There you go.
Since I don't like the Falcons.
Go
But,
ahead.
what I think is going to be the most interesting game,
Green
Chargers
Bay.
and Washington.
Chargers.
I'm going with the Chargers
Where
as well.
they
but
going to
it's
play?
at
Where they
Washington.
playing at? Oh.
Ooh. Nah,
I'ma
I'll still
take
go with
Washington.
Chargers. I'll still go with
I
Chargers.
think
going
I'm
with
going to
Chargers.
Washington.
Steelers and Bills.
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 All day.
Why
the
they playing
Steelers.
that, though?
They're
Fuck
playing
it,
them
don't
both.
matter.
Oh, they in
Don't
Buffalo.
matter.
It does matter.
No, it don't.
Yes, it
It
does.
don't matter.
See where TJ got all that money.
It does matter.
TJ going to be on Josh Allen. 49ers and Lions.
What they at?
49ers.
49ers. I don't even
49ers.
need to know what they
Trey
at. They could be
Lance.
playing at your house.
Vikings and Bengals.
Vikings.
Vikings.
I'm gonna step outside that one. I'm gonna say Cincinnati.
Where's that at?
It's at Cincinnati.
If they're
You
gonna
know,
lose,
I
that-
don't like Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
that's
it's
all.
Cincinnati.
they're gonna lose.
Jets and Panthers.
Panthers.
Jets.
Panthers.
Panthers.
I'm gonna go to the Panthers. I don't like them, even though they with us. I don't like them. They're in NFC South.
Cardinals and Titans.
Titans.
What they at?
Ooh, but
What
wait.
they
They're at
at?
Tennessee.
That might be the
Tennessee.
game of the week
That's
right
gonna
there.
be it. Tennessee gonna get that because they're home. They
Yeah.
opening up. They look.
But they haven't played together in a real game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Didn't they just get
but
Hopkins?
Neither did the
The Cardinals have Hopkins.
But neither did the
Titans got
Cardinals.
Julio.
That's who it was. Yeah, Titans.
I think I'm still going with the Titans at home.
That's going to be a good game. That's going to be a really good game.
Browns and Chiefs.
Browns.
Chiefs.
Even though I. Yeah.
It's gonna be the Chiefs. Solomon, who you got?
I got the Chiefs. I mean, but
Honestly,
the Browns have the defensive players to do what the Bucks did in the Super Bowl.
they do. They
We
have the
got the
pieces.
offensive players, too.
But we
No,
gotta
you
see what
don't.
they. We gotta see what
No,
they
you
happen. We gotta see what happens.
Bro, we got like the best running back core.
But y'all don't have the best
And our
offensive
wide-
line.
No.
Yeah, we do.
They got the
We got-
offensive line.
we
They
got
got the running backs.
And our
They-
wideouts are crazy.
You got the crazy wideouts.
And our tight ends are nice.
You don't have the quarterback to get them the ball.
Oh, my God. Here we go. Here
The
we
Browns.
go.
Listen,
I think
you're
the Browns
you're
should
talking.
win.
You sound like Reggie.
You're talking to. You're
But
talking
Kansas
to the
City
dude.
is gonna win.
You're
They
talking to
opening
the
up at
dude
home.
who replaced his quarterback and won a Super Bowl.
Solomon, Where they
Kansas
playing
City's
at?
at home.
This is Kansas City. Kansas City ain't lost at home like
It's
that.
fine.
Like y'all ain't just coming in their house
Yeah,
beating
that's
them.
fine. Like I said.
So let's see.
Browns.
I know. Look, that's that.
Loyalty.
That's loyalty. That's why y'all can't bet on their
That's
game.
right.
Go ahead.
Oh, never.
Dolphins and Patriots.
Patriots.
Where they at?
They're in New England.
Yeah, the Patriots.
I
It
don't
matters
know.
to me.
I'm going to go with the Dolphins on that one.
I don't think the Dolphins
I
got
think
enough
the
to do an
Dolphins-
upset in New England.
I think so.
Okay.
I think New England is in bad
I'm
shape.
going with the Dolphins simply because Mac Jones has never played a game.
Yeah.
Well, he played against most of these
Tua
guys.
has.
Look, he played against
But
most
no,
of them. They went to
it's definitely gonna be the
Alabama.
Patriots.
He played with them against them. Go ahead.
Broncos and Giants.
Broncos. I don't even
Giants.
need to know where they at. The Broncos. I'm just going for them.
I'll
I
go
think
with the
Teddy B
Broncos.
gonna do his thing.
Yeah, I'll go with
I'm
the
going to
Broncos.
Broncos. Packers and Saints.
Packers.
Packers.
Nobody want to ride James?
Nobody no long wolf.
Fuck Jameis.
Jameis.
Nobody want to jump with James?
Nobody wants to be a lone wolf. Go ahead.
Oh, by the way, that game's in Jacksonville.
That's right.
Packers.
Because of
So
hurricane.
I made a joke because of the hurricane. They have
Okay,
the
okay.
Superdome.
Yeah.
But when they moved the game, I was like, they're gonna be in Florida anyway. They should have just played the game in Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because that's where Jameis throws all the touchdowns to the Saints in Tampa.
whatever. Go ahead.
Bears and Rams.
Rams. Because the Bears is starting Andy Dalton. That just sounds stupid to me. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
that just don't make no sense.
And then Monday Night Football, Baltimore and the Raiders.
The Raiders. I'm gonna go on the Raiders because that's my daddy team.
Raiders.
Where they playing at?
Las
Because
Vegas.
there's a lot of
I'm going
injuries
for the
going
Raiders.
on.
I'm
Right
going
now.
to say
Injuries,
Baltimore
so-
just because.
You know Baltimore don't have no running
No
back, right?
running backs.
All the running backs tore their ACLs.
Yeah, so every running back they got
so
just
it's
signed
really our
Friday.
division.
So
this year.
they
They just signed everybody
They just
Friday.
signed Le'Veon Bell. They signed
Murray.
Latavius Murray
And
they
Cook.
signed
I mean, Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams. No,
Dalvin.
no,
Wait.
the guy that used to be
Devontae Freeman. That's
Okay,
what
yeah.
it is.
Oh,
Devontae
yeah,
Freeman.
from the East
My
play for
bad.
Falcons.
Falcons. Yeah, so they're on the practice squad. They ain't even playing this week.
Not all of them on the practice
They
squad.
all on. They got to
For
learn the
real?
playbook.
How you put them? They vets. On
They
the
don't know
practice
Baltimore's
squad?
playbook.
Oh man. Okay.
Definitely
Yeah,
Raiders.
that's a loss.
But I think I'm just gonna go with the other team today. I really do believe that the quarterback can do some things because he's a running
yeah,
back,
he's
suited
insane.
up. He's suited and booted as a running back. I just don't see if that's all they have to plan for. Really, technically, I just think I'm gonna take the Raiders.
All right, so they're all of our picks for week one,
Gotcha.
and y'all know everything I do is calculated. I got a reason for everything I do, right?
I told y'all he up here trying to use us as his pick.
So, how long has it been since we had cover two conversations?
Ooh,
Forever.
I'm gonna hang up.
Forever and a
I'm
day.
done.
So since cover two's been gone,
we got to have some.
my co-host decided to go do another sports podcast on another network.
So shout out to the
What?
OG Sports Show. I will be on their show on Tuesday
Wow.
night. They invited me. They said they needed a female who
There
can
you go.
provide some opinions. So I definitely had no
Wow.
problem stepping in. And I'll get to promote our show and our producer.
shout out to
on
them,
that.
though,
So
to be
definitely
honest.
going to shout out to the OG Sports Show.
But understand, she has a co-host that wasn't invited. That
Wow.
always talks
Time
sports.
out, time
So
out.
you know, shade, right? You know.
It's a show with three guys. They did say, "Oh, you can bring your husband," but when they said it to me, I took offense. Like I can fight. I don't got to bring
I know
him.
what I'm talking
I know how to
about.
do this. So, but I do. I think Solomon will probably come with me.
When
anyway.
is that? What
It's
day?
gonna be Tuesday night. It's called
Okay.
an OG Sports Show, and
What's the
it'll
time?
be on Tuesday night at 7.
Okay.
So they'll
Shout
be
out to them.
live as well. So thanks to my friend Bakari for inviting me on. He his friends asked him like, "Do you know any females?"
Bakari
that
what?
can talk? Bakari Robinson.
Okay, never mind.
But he was like, "Do you know any females that can like really talk?" Because they wanted just a female perspective, and he was like, "Definitely, I know a chick who can kind of hold her own." So I'm gonna join them on their show, give them some havoc because they really like Florida State fans, low key. You know, I like University of Miami, so I always be trying to give them a headache.
So
But
basically,
we'll see.
she's going to be the chick from First Take.
pretty much. I'm gonna be like Max Kellerman though. You can call me Michelle
oh,
Kellerman.
he gone now.
I know.
What
I
happened by
heard.
that? I don't
So
even.
he's on a because I listened to it on the radio in the morning on my way to work. He's now the third person on a morning talk show on ESPN with Keyshawn Johnson.
That's right, I
Jay
did see
Williams.
that.
Yeah.
But
So
I
now
think there
it's
was some
Keyshawn
little
J.
Now
controversy
they're rotating
behind it,
people
too.
in every day.
But I think they were having some little bit of a disconnect between him and Stephen A. I think Stephen A. wanted to change it up a little bit, so that was a little.
Yeah, it's a
bit.
rotating.
Yeah,
thing,
definitely.
So, in parting, I want to get your opinion on the shot with art imitating reality. Watching last week's episode of Raising Kanan.
I knew you were gonna ask that. I've thought about it.
And
art imitating life.
So, anybody who didn't see it, in Raising Kanan, there's the
episode
where Kanan goes against his mother's will and goes to the stash house
against his uncle's, because his uncle told him, like he's gonna call the shots.
Right, and starts whipping up some crack, but cut it with some
new mystical, mystical.
They just didn't want to call
magical.
it fentanyl.
That's exactly
and that's what it was.
And so what
fentanyl.
they did is, instead of selling it, they put some testers out there, and they brought all these people to the stash house or a crack house and said, "Here, try it out."
So
and
maybe 2
everybody
out of
ended
10.
up dying.
It was only 2. That
No, they all died.
No, they said there was
Everybody was
like
in
there was 4, and then we still don't know what's up with the other girl.
So
No, she's dead.
No, she
She's
died.
dead.
You
Yeah.
think so?
Yeah, because when you look at the clip for tonight's episode,
No,
I didn't
we're
look at
talking
it
about-
yet.
yeah, we always watch the preview. Yeah, they're at her funeral.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
so
it's
she
a
ended up
bunch of
dying.
them that died. And so when he says
Damn.
that, you look at Michael Williams, what is his name? Michael K. Williams, what's his name? No.
I think it's Michael K. Williams.
Yeah,
something.
Michael K.
died.
Williams.
Yeah, he
so
died.
I mean, him and a couple other people.
There was a comedian out west
Yeah.
of that.
Same thing, cut with fentanyl, and
And
they
they all
passed
died.
away. So
one of the things while you speak of that, I know Michael K. Williams and 50, they had a beef, like a bit of a beef. And 50 went on there talking about get your mans, making a joke at this man's death. So people were like, oh, he go trolling again. My thing was, I understand you got a beef and you don't like him in real life, but you ain't got to try and
Yeah, I
stun
didn't
on
even
him
know
in
there
his
was a
death.
beef.
He was just trying to oh, look at your man's all cracked out and and it was, so to me, I felt like that was a bit disrespectful. Sometimes I think you can go so
the beef
too
actually
far.
started over the shows when Power first took off. 50 was boasting and talking about
This is
Power
better than The Wire.
Power puts wire to shit on the wire.
Right.
Whoops.
So
And so that was one
and
of
that's
the
when the
things.
dude was like, man, you can't. I understand you promoting your show, but you're taking people's life's work and
And trying
all
to
their
do-
effort
yeah.
and saying that it wasn't shit. You can't do that. And 50 was like, how
I didn't
50
know
do.
nothing about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's what it was, and he came out, and I thought that was a little bit tasteless and tacky.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes, even if you don't like somebody, you don't got to speak on everything that they're doing. So that, with watching that whole episode, and then you wake up the next morning and you see this person has died, and then Monday comes and this person has died. It almost was like, wow, at what point are we going to, there are issues with substance abuse, and I think
I mean,
there's a bigger
the way it
picture.
happened, it almost seemed like
they
watched
scheduled
the
it.
episode
Yes.
and it was like, man, let's try this to see what it's like. And then what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, because I've heard of people cooking crack with different stuff and what have you, but
This was-
see that, and like I said, they're out distributing it, and bam, 10 people died just like that, and then the next day, reality hits that these people actually died
Yeah.
with the same exact thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
So, man, y'all be safe out here,
Test your coke.
Yeah. I'm done. I can't with you, man. Oh, I
Come on,
can't.
guys.
All I'm saying is, look, if you ain't never did it, don't try it. Know who you're getting your stuff from. That's weird. Anyway, it's tough because those things are when you get on coke and stuff. I had a family member who, I always tell people, I had a father who was addicted to crack, he was on drugs, and he was functioning. So when you decide later on that you want to get your life right, that stuff comes back to bite you in your behind because you've had so much wear and tear because that stuff tears your body up that even if you want it to get right, you're not completely whole again. It's not like, oh, your system is clean because you done been clean 60 days or a year or whatever the case may be. That wear and tear is permanent. So I tell people all the time, be safe and be responsible for what you're doing.
All right, and with that being said, we appreciate all of our listeners out there, a lot of the supporters that have given us feedback. We appreciate you week in and week out. We've been doing every other week for the past couple weeks, but we're going to get back on the regular schedule.
Yeah, we got
if,
to.
If Shannon can write down her time on the calendar then we should, and quit scheduling these events a month and a half outside.
Go ahead and
so
put
I'm
your
gonna
calendar
I'm
on
gonna
the
get that calendar up
refrigerator.
tomorrow, and trust me, on the calendar, the first thing I'm going to write is every Saturday at 4 o'clock. His, hers, and ours, live from Flow Ohio Studio. I'm your co-host, Solomon Davis, with...
Don't be trying to cut me off because I'm going to say what the hell I want to. You not going to slide all that in there and think I ain't finna say nothing. And I said finna because I want you to understand I meant what I said. You ain't finna do all that. What we going to do is get back on track. Like you said, I agree because that's what partners do. We agree. I don't have any disagreements with what you said. We're going to get that calendar on the refrigerator. And, honey, I'm going to write down every event we have so that you'll never say, oh, I thought I told you or you didn't remind me.
appreciate that.
Okay, honey. I am
So-
Shannon Royal Davis with my co-host Solomon Davis, and
We'll hope
see
when we
you
come next week that
with his, hers,
we
and
can talk
ours.
with Surge and
Thank
Alfie, and
you
hopefully
so
everybody's
much.
1-0.
That's right.
Thank you.
Hopefully everybody's 1-0. We
Thank
know
you
one
for
team
joining
is.
us. See y'all next week.